and officially live right now. Welcome everybody to not a Friday night Smash stream, but rather a Crown Tundra stream. Nonetheless, welcome everybody. Araceli, Oma, how are you guys doing? Oh, why am I on, I shouldn't be on the Wi-Fi. That's just gonna bog it down. Connect to the internet. No, wait a minute, I wasn't connected. I don't know why I was getting things like that. Alright, whatever. What's going on, everybody? Hey, check something out here. I don't need to be connected to the internet. Guys, I made one steady improvement. I'm gonna pop this out really quickly. I want to make sure everything looks good because I'm going to switch over very momentarily. Here we go. Guys, I'd like to unveil to you a simple but effective solution I've had to customizing my stream a little more. I've talked about overlays for a while, and I said, wow, it's weird that all these streamers have the same overlay with different colors. I didn't want that, so I'm not the most artistic kind of person, but I came up with something, so hey guys, hope you enjoy. And with that, Regigigas, guys. Regigigas, to me, is like the most intimidating of the legendaries. Yeah, he's got slow starts, so he starts out and it's like, okay, what is this pile of junk? But, Regigigas, when his stats are all back up to speed, oh my god, the thing is a beast. So it's only fitting, absolutely only fitting, that Regigigas is level 100 in this raid. It's a beast, man. Freaking beast. So with that, I brought my own beast out here. I think this Pokemon, by the way, Eternatus, is an absolute monster, just like Regigigas. It was just presented a little wrong, that's all. It had a cheesy introduction, if you will. It didn't make sense. Look at this thing. A Poison Dragon, and nonetheless a Poison Dragon Legendary for the second generation in a row. I can't hear you. Says you can hear me just fine. Sound check. Alright, how's that? Let me know. It looks like it didn't carry over the settings, so you guys let me know. Let's see here. Yeah, it didn't save the settings. It all reset. I hate when it does that. The sound levels went back to normal. Thankfully, I've got them saved just in case this happens. But yeah, that's all it was. All right. So, the overlay. I told you guys, I'll say it again. So, I thought I'm not a very designy graphic person. And yeah, it's a little bit prototype-ish. But I thought, hey, I kind of want to customize my personal overlay here without making it, let's say, oh, I just moved the box up, my bad. Without making it too copy and paste off everybody else. I thought, wow, everybody's got pretty much the same overlay. I want something a little different. And I realized that since I operate like a podcast, there was a way to do this. Hold on. Let's bring this down. Right in the center. There we go. I kind of like the movie screen look myself. I thought that was kind of cool. But nonetheless, it's hear you but no game sound? You hear no game sound. Alright, hang on. Hang on. The settings are normal. I don't know why they reset. Alright. Well, you guys let me know. This is all prototype-ish. I've never used an overlay before, but I kind of like where it's at. Now I just need to get the sound right, because apparently that reset. So, whatever. Here we go. First encounter, while you guys help me troubleshoot, I appreciate your time on it. Mawile, Oma, Gamer Gore, how you guys doing tonight? Look at that unit. That's very loud. You guys probably heard the TV. You probably heard that for sure. And welcome to soft resetting. Anyway, guys. So as I log back in here and we do it again, I'm playing ranked Wish Me Luck. Does it sound all right now? Can you hear it? Did that Regigigas either blow out the headphone users, or it signified that no, you can't hear it unless you have a Dynamax level 100 Regigigas there? Then you can finally hear the game. Hopefully it's a nice medium between the two. Unfortunately, I didn't do a sound check. You know what? I'm going to save... Yeah, no. Okay, yeah, I was going to say, I can't activate the den and just go in quickly. So I'm going to save the game right here. Here we go. Anyway, guys, you're playing ranked? Nice. So I'm getting really hyped for the new Splatfest. I am seriously, like, just so excited to see a new Splatfest. I'm suddenly finding myself like, oh, come on, January. All right, Regigigas. This thing is going to be a monster. What's cool about it is there's actually not a lot of challenge in catching it. If you can take the thing down, you get the catch for free. I almost feel like I should throw this thing into a beast ball because he's such a unit and a beast. I'm not quite sure. I haven't decided yet. Maybe. So, anybody can let me know, does it sound all right now? I'm wishing for the 16th. Well, you're not too far off. Today's Friday the 13th, so you got a little bit more to go. Let me check really quickly. Looks all right. All right, I'm good to go. I wanted to make sure it was going to run smooth because, that's just been a concern of mine for a while, but... Anywho's. So, I'm still thinking Team Super... Well, I mean Mushroom. It's Super Mushroom, but I'm still thinking Super Mushroom. Whoops. This is going to be a pretty easy one to spot, actually. It would be really hard to accidentally soft reset over anything in this game. Never really thought about that before. I would not have soft reset the Regis, but I did a Nuzlocke of this. So the Regis, I can't catch. I've already caught them. And that said, actually, Regigigas I got via surprise trade. I caught two, or I should say I got two in a surprise trade yesterday. One was named Be Happy, and it was a legitimate Regigigas, a shiny. The other one, I sent Be Happy, I sent back out into the world and got a Japanese Dratini. However, the other one was named Discord and is absolutely a hacked shiny. So, well, I'm going to use it to catch this, and then we're going to destroy Regigigas live, if possible. Araceli, how are you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for coming by. But more importantly, can you hear everything all right? Does everything sound okay? Since I adjusted the audio levels, all of a sudden nobody's saying if it sounds good. I'm very concerned. I was going to say, I was sideways. I was clearly sideways. I missed the raid den, but all right, it's giving me credit for it. I was close enough. That's a decent amount of encounters. This is a pretty fast system. For me, it's fine. Nice. Thank you for confirming that for me. I really appreciate that. I'm kind of on my prototype of the overlay I want to use. I wanted to make something that was unique in a way that it wouldn't just be a copy and paste off of all the other streamers. Like, you can go on and find any artist and commission them to make a generic overlay, and it'll look good, honestly. It'll look good. But I didn't want that. So I was like, how about, since I always say that my streams operate like a podcast, what if I were to put a podcast topic, a stream topic, up on the wall? Underneath it, I think I have another idea for that, but for now, it's being used for, well, pretty much nothing. And then I thought, you know what? I'm gonna update this and just kind of show what I'm doing. What's the current series? Currently, it's Shadow Hearts Covenant. That's my current recorded series, though. It's been a little while. But I have my PlayStation 2 set up right in front of my Switch. Imagine a world where I am sitting here playing PlayStation 2 and enjoying the ever-loving heck out of it. That game is amazing. But I'm sitting here playing a PlayStation 2 in a time where it's the launch day, or yesterday was, of the PlayStation 5. That's pretty amazing. I mean, when the PlayStation 2 came out, it was like, I don't know, it feels like it wasn't that long ago. The 2 literally just came out in my mind. It feels like yesterday. Only I was a kid. That means, and then Naya and I are actually, we've been playing a game, we've just kind of been bumming around playing whatever game we happen to have. It was The Last of Us Part 2 up until we finished it a couple days ago. So now it's going to be Red Dead Redemption. We were thinking about making Red Dead Redemption part of our I Can't Believe You Never Played series. We changed our mind on that. I'm like, it's a long game. We've got 2 of them on the shelf. She owns Red Dead Redemption 1. I own Red Dead Redemption Part 2. I'm sorry, not Part 2. 2. And so I was like, you know what? Let's just play the game. I'm not going to make this part of the series. Plus, we're moving so slow on that anyways. And Luigi's Mansion is sitting here. I finally acquisitioned another wave bird, so hopefully we can start playing that pretty soon. Because I recorded the first bit, then we decided the controller's shot. This poor wave bird has seen way too much action, which is weird because I babied the wave bird. I never let the wave bird. The wave bird is the wireless GameCube controller, the official Nintendo one. I babied mine so that it would last a very long time. The wired GameCube controller I used for Smash. I never used that Wavebird for Smash because I figured the Wavebird really needs to be as far away from Smash Melee as possible or it's going to get destroyed. Meanwhile, the wired controller I didn't imagine would be sitting here with me almost 15 years later. I still use it for Smash. The Wavebird, the one I babied, it's broken. It's like, oh man, come on. Apparently it's one of those things like, I don't know, it's like a high revving motorcycles or race cars with big giant motors is you have to run them hard to keep them running long. You can't baby them. They need to be pushed quite often. So apparently the same thing's true with that Wavebird because it perished on me and I babied it. I treated it so well. You guys whoever was around for the Sunshine ending stream, the last Sunshine stream, that was when the controller broke, by the way. So I had live witnessed that controller dying. That said, I put the stream topic up there because I wanted to know if anybody comes in or maybe they're shy, didn't want to talk, or you guys need something to talk about and I need something to talk about. I've got a stream topic. Every stream I would like to have a stream topic. Something that I throw out there. A question that I can kind of get the conversation going because it's something that's on my mind. So today I was thinking, I was looking at how amazing it is that they brought the Regis back into the center of the focus of the Crown Tundra. Well, not really. It shares the focus of the Crown Tundra. But the Regis really deserved what they got. I mean, they look amazing, and the tombs are amazing. The puzzles could have been more puzzly, but I'm fine with it. It was fine just to see the Regis back. And that kind of led me to the idea that, hey, this is something to be appreciated, but hey, remember when I first encountered the Regis all those years ago? And then I remembered, yeah, I had this feeling when I saw the Regis the first time. It was like the legendary birds were the first ones I saw. Zapdos, Articuno, Moltres. After that, and they were awesome. They're kind of elegant looking, powerful, very simple but effective design. They got more complex with the legendary roamers. Suicune, Raikou, Entei all looked amazing. Touch of simplicity, definitely a touch of artistic design to them. Then these things happen. I'm like, Sapphire version, I solved the puzzle, and by the way, I didn't look it up. I looked up how to read Braille. That's what I did back then. I looked up how to read Braille so I could solve the puzzle and figure out how to use the Regis, or how to unlock them. So, I get into the tomb. The first one I encountered was Registeel, and I'm like, holy crap, he's sitting there, and it looks like a rock with eyes, and I'm like, wow, that looks intense. What is this? I encounter the Pokemon, and it's this giant Titan made of steel. I'm like, what? I have never seen a Pokemon in my life that looks anything like this. It is incredible. I remember I was in awe because I'm like, what a beast. Dude. Registeel still looks absolutely beastly. It feels like a Pokemon that I would give a wax job to every time I take it out of the ball. this game definitely got that design down perfect. The design being that it was glossy, metallic, smooth. You can tell that they made the Pokemon really pop. Oh, that's I heard water in the boiler behind me. I was like, what the? Or in the radiator. I was like, what is that noise? But it just really pops, and it's like, wow, that's just absolutely incredible. What a Pokemon. And then from there, I actually used to think Regirock was the plain-looking one. I was like, oh, it's just a pile of rocks. Now I love Regirock. Regice is actually the one that's really kind of simple. Grab some water. Either way, so for me, Regice is actually the one that's kind of got the more simplistic design, but I still absolutely love Regice. And what's weird about it is Regice, like all the other, pretty much any other legendary that, or I shouldn't say legendary, ice Pokemon that's got shiny. Man, I got something in my throat. Pokemon that have shinies that are ice type are not so fortunate in having a nice sprite. They always get like a lighter color. And to me, I was like, you know what? No. Regice looks amazing with that light ice color. So that's why Regice to me was one of the coolest. But still, it was just so freaking cool seeing those Pokemon. I am trying to find a shiny version. So all I'm doing is soft resetting the game over and over and over until I see this thing turn purple. Once it's purple, I will have a level 100 beast of a shiny. What will I do with it? I have no idea, but I want it. Once upon a time, I did catch this shiny before. Pokemon Diamond version. So when the temple is in Snow Point, if you bring 3 Regis, now it's 5, but if you bring 3 to Snow Point Temple, you can get in, go down to the bottom floor, and encounter Regigigas. I remember the first time I encountered that Pokemon, I was like, dude, this thing is an absolute monster. What a beast. Then I learned about Slow Start, and I saw it activate, and I was like, what's Slow Start? And the description in Pokemon Diamond when you encounter Regigigas is, Regigigas can't get it going. And I'm like, what does that mean? It means for 5 turns, this Pokemon is a sitting duck and a garbage on stats. So unfortunately, Regigigas, to my knowledge, is still pretty much impossible to use effectively in a battle. They did give Regigigas Protect this time. I really like that because they didn't... Like in Gen 4, 5, 6, and 7, you could not learn Protect on Regigigas. So without Protect, this thing is garbage. Like, how are you supposed to effectively do anything? However, now that you have Protect, you can at least hold off 2 turns. 2 turns of Chaos coming in. But if you can get to the Slow Start activating and your stats going back to normal, you've got yourself a beast. Mia, how are you doing? Hello, hello, and welcome to Shiny Regigigas hunting. How are you doing tonight? Hello, hello, and hello back to you. How's everything been the week? It's kind of nice to take a week off of streaming, but it was just so I could catch up on work stuff. And what's bad about it is it's like I'm doing something Monday at work where we're producing material that's new, and it's really cool if my development actually makes it as far as basically it's going to be almost a 6-figure product. And it's like, all right, that started on my lab bench. That's awesome. However, it's caused me to have to work like 60 plus hour weeks easily. And like Monday, it's like on a Monday, the first thing in the morning, 6 o'clock, I got to be there to start this. I'm like, oh man, 6 o'clock, I'm going to be tired on a Monday. I have a philosophy of coming in a half hour late on Mondays. We all do it. We come in, if we start normally at 7, you come in at 7:30. It's nice. Well, not this time. But right now it's Friday. I'm relaxing, just kicking back. And I was going to turn music on and do this, and I'm like, you know what? No. I want this to be on stream. And the reason I want this to be on stream is because I can't hunt the Regis. I can't do it. I completed the Crown Tundra when I did my Crown Tundra Nuzlocke series, which means that I've already caught the Regis and I can't encounter them again. But what that does also mean is I can encounter this guy. I'm hoping that you actually had to catch the Regis. Otherwise, people could just trade for them and shiny hunt every single Regi. And I'd be like, dude, that's unfortunate. I kind of sacrificed a lot to get here. But otherwise, yeah, I'm doing well. How are you tonight? Good. I should say, what are you up to tonight? This thing is level 100, by the way. They did this thing justice doing that, level 100. I mean, this thing is no pushover. I had to gauge Eternatus to make sure, because I figured I'd use Eternatus because of that Dynamax cannon. But I wanted to make sure it was going to be able to beat Regigigas. And even with its lowered stats, Eternatus was not even close to a match to this thing until about level 90. Now I've made sure that I can bury this thing. I can mow him over. But that's the thing. As a Dynamax Pokemon, if he didn't have slow start, there's like no way you could one-on-one him. You'd have to definitely go 6-on-1. Your whole team would have to be level 100, and legendary because they're the Regis helps a lot. Would be kind of cool to get a fast shiny. Without the shiny charm, typically I can expect over 1,000 soft resets, and I don't think I would get 1,000 soft resets on stream. Like one stream, it would take a while. I think my soft reset rate is something like every hour it's 150, 200. So you're talking that's a 5-hour hunt just to get to 1,000. But it'd be really awesome if I was one of those people that got to say, hey, the shiny popped for me at ... and it's some low number. Like when you see, I can't believe, oh my god, 63 encounters. You know, you see those tweets. I want to be that person. Thankfully, they didn't shiny lock this thing. I really do question why the shiny lock exists. Makes me feel bad. It's like, why would you do that? What is exactly the point of shiny locking something? Is it to get the story moving along so people won't stop and shiny hunt? Like, I don't understand. Seemingly the only thing that's shiny or, well, I guess I do understand. The shiny lock probably is so that you follow the promo events. That way when they're giving out shinies, you're still playing Pokemon. You're still giving them your time. Thankfully, this one's got a very distinguished shiny form, so that yellow, as soon as I see it, I'm like, all right, I'm out. Time to go soft reset. Meanwhile, I'm curious if, I don't know if Oma can still hear us or not. He's playing Splatoon, and that's something I was thinking about probably playing this weekend a little bit. We'll see. I know I promised a story for the Discord server, and I'm still going to deliver on that 100%. And I swear that is going to happen, 100% happening. Nope, not today. Next. And I actually was wondering if I should probably think about that. I said I was going to do an Animal Crossing stream and check out everybody's islands. Now that we're done with Halloween, I'm worried that everyone's going to be tearing down their islands. I may have already missed the chance to see you guys what everybody I know has. Because I loved seeing everybody's islands. Everybody had really cool stuff. Very cool designs, just really cool fun time we had. So I kind of want to get back to that at some point. I think that'd be fun. Regigigas. Regigigas. Nope. Not that one. I need the other one. The nice purple one. I'm also not doing best on my shiny luck because Sandy Gas took me an insane amount of encounters, and then that was the last time I've caught a shiny. So could potentially be in for, depending on how bad the universe feels like destroying my confidence, could be in for a really bad hunt. Makes the weirdest noise, doesn't it? There was a movie, I remember seeing a Pokemon movie that, it's not, yeah, it is actually, I take it back, it is. It's revolved like Brandon of the Battle Pyramid. Brandon is involved in the no, that was not the movie, I take it back, that was the anime series. Brandon, who's the leader of the Battle Pyramid when the Diamond and Pearl arc was going. Well, I mean, I take it back, that was after Ruby and Sapphire, but nonetheless, in Diamond and Pearl, Brandon has all three Regis, rather. He has all three of the Titan Pokemon. And so he's doing an excavation, and I forget why he unlocks Regigigas. But Regigigas in the anime is portrayed as absolutely massive. Like, he literally scales entire massive hills in 2 steps. And so when Brandon activates Regigigas, and it's weird because Paul is there, but Paul, who's an extremely skilled trainer, literally as Team Galactic is coming, like he leaves 2 seconds before they arrive. So Brandon's trying to fight off Team Galactic, if I recall, is what was going on. He activates Regigigas. Regigigas is a total monster, absolute monster. I do not believe he ends up catching it too, but the way they portray it is like covered in moss and just pretty much cemented into the stone, and then when it activates, it starts shaking off all the rust. It was a really cool thing. Yeah, that was not a movie, though. That was actually the anime. Or I should say the main episodes of the anime. That was really awesome. I didn't watch all of the Diamond and Pearl parts. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I definitely did watch the anime when Paul was involved and when Brandon was involved. That was really good. I think pretty much everybody acknowledges that was really good. Do you want to check it out? Yes, I do. Alright, Regigigas. Nope. I'm feeling an early one. Come on. Well, the last time I said that, Sandy Gas happened. But this is different. This is totally different. Because with Sandy Gas, I was dumb enough to say I would go ahead and count the encounters. I have not counted encounters in a very long time. I sometimes estimate them, but usually I don't even do that. So I cursed myself by counting the encounters it took to find Shiny Sandygast. That's what buried me in 21,000 encounters. Had I have never started counting those, it probably would have been like 1,000, 2,000. A 3-month hunt was absolutely uncalled for. Which is why I feel like the universe owes me a little bit of balance here by bringing this all back. Make me feel better about the situation by throwing me a quick bone, throwing me something quick. And for anybody out there, thank you guys so much for leaving likes on the stream. I just noticed that, and seriously, I do appreciate that. You guys are taking time out of your day, optionally, to give me feedback, and I appreciate it. Because I'm just kind of kicking back here, sitting here relaxing. I ate before the stream, thankfully, this time. I choked on stream once because of some spicy whatever the heck was in that Thai food. Never doing that again. But for me, anyways, this is just nice to relax after work and kick back and stream and enjoy and try and find my Shiny Regigigas. All of that said, it's just a really nice time. For you guys to enjoy that as well is really, really cool. All right. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. We're in like the first 25 encounters. I'm ready for you, Regigigas. Shine early. Asian boy, how you doing? Rating myself? Not exactly how it works, but good to see you, my friend. Regigigas, I'm ready. We're early. We're early on. Not this time. Regigigas definitely has one of the coolest versions of a shiny. Regieleki kind of grows on you after a while. Regidrago is kind of subtle. Regirock is pretty good too, and Regice is usually not favored. I'd say Registeel is people's favorite shiny form. Then there's this guy. Regigigas absolutely has a beast of a shiny. By the way, it is so awesome that you can now have a team of 6 Regis. I'm gonna definitely use that. The Regi team. I almost wonder if I should go online and do that. That'd be really cool. How you doing today? Or tonight, rather. How you doing tonight? Man, I'm already out of water. I gotta go get some more water in a little bit here. Hey, Red Wolves. How's it going? It's going great. I'm relaxing after another long work week. It seems like the last 8 work weeks have been pretty taxing on my brain, but otherwise, yeah, I'm doing well. Hopefully, I really hope you guys can hear well, because earlier the settings reset, I noticed, on my sound, and I got a confirmation that everything sounded clean. Game audio wasn't too loud, voice audio wasn't too loud, but I did not get a chance to ask and make sure those fine points were confirmed. So I'd like to hopefully ask you guys for a sound check here. Does everything sound all right? That'll peak the headphone users up. I can hear well. Nice. I was happy to see that was working well. Mic volume looks good. I've got the mic on the correct kilohertz. And my little overlay seems to be sitting out nice. I've got a couple of touches I want to do to make the overlay a little more appealing. But other than that, because I kind of want the letters to be less difficult to read. But still, I really like how this thing turned out. I mean, I'm not an artist. I'm not a designer. So sometimes it's really tough for me to make things like that. But I figured I wanted to distinguish myself a little bit. And I'm like, you know what? Instead of using overlays, like everybody's got the standard overlay they use. Not me. I'm not going to do that. I operate my stream like a podcast. It's just kind of like a talk, a chat, chill. And I'm like, you know what? It needs to reflect that. Did I shiny hunt the other Regis? Absolutely not. So I gave up my ability to shiny hunt them when I did my Crown Tundra Nuzlocke. And I'm trying to get confirmation if the Nuzlocke is done, because it kind of came to too abrupt of an end. Either way, I was like, I kind of felt bad that I gave up my ability to hunt the other Regis. But then I realized I gained something else in the process, and that's the ability to shiny hunt this big monster. I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't give up my ability to shiny hunt all of the Regis. Only 4 of them. There's still 6 Regis. Once I got my hands on Regieleki twice, then I was like, we're going for the big guy. We're going for the absolute unit of a Regi, the king of them all. So that's why I don't feel too bad about giving up the ability to hunt them. Plus, technically the only one that would be, well, I guess, yeah, 3 of them would have been repeat hunts. I gotta change my mic stand. There we go. That'll work. 3 of them were repeat hunts. And that is, I've already hunted Registeel, Regice, and Regigigas in prior generations. Regirock I skipped, and Regidrago and Regieleki are all brand new. So those ones, obviously, I didn't ever shiny hunt those. But I gave it up. I gave up the ability so I could come out with a series. Because I Nuzlocked everything. I pretty much Nuzlock any game. Any Pokemon game, that is, that's new. So I was like, all right, let me try a Nuzlocke on the DLC. I don't know what's coming. We'll see if it works. It did get intense for a little while, and then it came to a crashing halt. It was just like, oh, you're done. It's over. Like, there's no battles or anything? Because I accidentally never finished my armor lock. I need to go back and finish it. Either way, so, yeah, I gave up my ability. But then I'm like, wait a minute. Maybe I can come back to an old hunt that I've already done once. Regigigas. Since the DLC came out, I've been hunting all of the Regis, and I have 1 shiny so far. Nice. Which one? I didn't know if you had another account. Yeah, so I've been wondering if I should do that. I thought I should start another account so that I can shiny hunt them, but then I realized I don't have the time to hunt as like I'd like to anyways. So it's like, I'll knock out what I can, but I don't feel the need to shiny hunt the Regis. I've got plenty of others that are on my radar. Registeel, nice. Registeel is probably everybody's favorite. The only issue is that it seems like a lot of people forget about Regigigas. I see a lot of Registeel hunts and Regirock hunts and such, but I'm like, oh, I've done Registeel. I've done Regice. Yeah, I skipped Regirock. A long time ago, I was a fool. I thought Regirock was kind of lame looking. I was like, hey, he's just a pile of rocks. There's nothing special about that. No, he's a beast. But I already hunted these guys. But what I haven't done is hunt the new ones or hunt a Dynamax den before. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to hunt again Regigigas for the second time in my life. But this time, it's going to be a little more unique. We're going to be doing it raid style. Going after the rock. Yeah, it was weird. I was a person that said that Regirock's shiny looked boring because it's just a dark brown. And then I absolutely loved Regice, which is arguably the one that everybody hates the shiny form of. And I was like, yeah, Regice and Registeel look awesome. Regirock is boring. Nowadays, I still think Regice's shiny looks fine. Because it's a giant chunk of ice, Regice pulls it off really well. But certainly Regirock is a cool one too. I think I'd love to have a full team of shiny Regis rather, but I'll hold that off for later. I'll figure that out another time. But for now, technically I've already got a shiny Regieleki in my party, but that doesn't really count. So I'm like, if I want to build a team of Regis, I got a couple of things I'm thinking about doing. I'm actually thinking about going back to Pokemon Sapphire and hunting for a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not, but I thought that'd be really cool. Start a new save file on Sapphire. Nothing on Sapphire is, well, nah, you know what? The more I think about it, I really don't want to wipe my save file. Even though there's really nothing of value on there. If it was, it's already been transferred to Pokemon Diamond, which is now non-existent, my Diamond version. But for Sapphire, yeah, I don't know. I've got Pokemon that are like probably 16 years old on that. I don't know if I want to wipe that save file. I'll probably, you know what I'll do? I'll restart my Ruby version. It was the only generation that I actually got the other one because my parents made a mistake and bought Ruby and Sapphire. So I'll restart Ruby is what it is. Ruby has a couple issues. It's probably better that I restart it anyways. It's got a funky corrupted save file. Gonna have to pay attention to the sound and animation when I hunt ice. I'm colorblind somewhat. Oh, dang. Yeah, that would make it rather tough. Regice is very subtle. Supposedly, when you're doing Dynamax adventures, the Pokemon do not show their shiny form when you encounter them. Which means that you have to just check and see if they're shiny at the end of the tunnels. Versus Regigigas. Sorry, Regigigas shows up purple, and I checked to make sure that is the case. Regigigas spawns purple, so you know that it's good to go. You have made me want to Nuzlocke, so I'm doing a Crystal Nuzlocke. Isn't it awesome? It's just so cool to do Nuzlocks. The reason I do them is because when I got back into Pokemon, and I shouldn't say I ever left Pokemon, I simply went to college and stopped playing as many games. And by the way, Pokemon Black is 100% happening pretty soon. I missed Pokemon Black 2, and White, but I'm going to play Black. X, actually that's it, and then I picked up at Sun and Moon. So, for those games anyways, I was like, you know what? I'm literally a regional player for VGC. Like, what am I gonna do to make this tough? Because if I'm gonna do a YouTube series on it, it's gonna have to have a twist. Otherwise, it's gonna be boring. I'm gonna walk everything, and that's when it. Let me try that again. that's when I was like, oh, you know what? I could do a Nuzlocke. Let's go into these games blind and do a Nuzlocke. It's so thrilling because it's a game I've never experienced. So I'm exploring everything, but I'm also on the edge of my seat at all times, and I can't let my guard down. You have to catch them in the adventure and check at the end. Yeah. So they don't spawn shiny, but this one does. I'm like, oh, dude, this thing's a beast. I have to do it. I absolutely have to hunt this thing. There's no way I'm going to leave this thing just sitting in the den by itself. I do think it should have had its own, like, it should have had something a little different. Like, they should have made a tomb for Regigigas, and when you walk in and encounter Regigigas, then you go to the Dynamax, or the raid. But it is kind of weird that it's literally just this random den in the middle of nowhere, and then Regigigas happens to be in it. But Regigigas wasn't part of the story, so they didn't give it anything special. Me with Gen 2 past the 3rd gym, is going to be blind. Oh, you've never played Gen 2. Wow. There's a lot of people that have, or there's not a lot of people that haven't played Gen 2 because Gen 2 was extremely popular with people like me that grew up with the first generation. And then Heart Gold, Soul Silver is definitely one of the most popular Pokemon games. So if you didn't experience Gen 2 then, well, okay, it's not really Gen 2 at that point, but because you can get Pokemon outside of Gen 2, but they are remakes. So there's not a lot of people that have actually seen or not seen the game yet. So that's going to be awesome, dude. I'm thinking of how I'm excited for you because I'm like, oh, man, this is going to be so cool. It was a mind-blowing experience how much more features there were, how many more features there were after Pokemon Blue, playing Pokemon Silver. It was absolutely awesome. My Crystal game is still in the closet, too. You made sure you can take down the boss. Yeah, so I was talking about that earlier. Check this out. So I wanted to use Eternatus because Dynamax Cannon attack. At level 70, he was not strong enough. He would get wasted by Regigigas. At level 80, he was not doing much better. Level 90 was still good, but look at that. That Regigigas has slow start, and the only thing that does is bring him back down to normal. My Dynamax Cannon, I can just show it really quickly. It'll do enough. It'll do a huge chunk of his damage, or his HP. The damage that's being dealt with this with the 200% ratio definitely hits him hard. So I'm good with that now. But at level 80, he was struggling. I'm like, it was not an easy win. So I'm like, wow, to take on this level 100 Regigigas with slow start, I have to have at least a level 90 Eternatus that has a special Dynamax move, or a special move against Dynamax Pokemon. So I was like, that is so fitting for this thing. It is so appropriate to turn this Pokemon into an absolute unit. Because Regigigas deserved that. Absolutely deserved that. It is a beast. Only thing I'm looking about Gen 2 is max level for gyms to not over level. Yeah, it's always hard to gauge that. That happened to me in Ultra Moon. In Pokemon Ultra Moon, they put an Ultra Necrozma in there. So Necrozma is level 60. Right after Necrozma, you battle Ultra Necrozma, and he's level 70. So its level 70 causes you to be usually under-leveled pretty bad. Then you level up, and in my case, I wiped, so I had to go get a new team out of the PC, and I trained them up to an appropriate level. But because they were at Ultra Necrozma's level, now when I went to the Elite Four, I'm over-leveled by all means. Everything I've got is way over-level. So I was like, why did they boost the boss, if you will, up to an insane level compared to the last little bit, and then after that, it just drops off a cliff? Like the Gladion battle. Because I was over-leveled, I pretty much swept Gladion. But when I was playing Moon, Gladion, I barely defeated. It was probably one of the most intense battles I've had on the channel, and it was one of my it was my first series. Because when I battled Gladion, I made it out with only one Pokemon, Lycanroc, and it had 6 HP left. It took a hit, and it just survived very fortunately, and I won. Ultra Moon, I didn't get that same experience because I was already a little over leveled. It wasn't so hard. Oh, do I want to test out the Be Right Back screen really quickly? I think I do. The reason is I'm going to run into the kitchen and fill up this water. Once the mouth starts getting dry, my voice starts cracking and it's no good, so I got to go do that. I should have just filled up the big water thing. Instead, I went with the little one. One more encounter, and then I'm going to test out... I want the Be Right Back screen to be centered a little bit. This is still a prototype for my overlay. Like I say, I wanted it to be a unique overlay. I didn't want it to be copy-paste of every other freaking streamer. So I did this, but we're still in the prototype of it. You got a yellow Regigigas. That thing takes the soundbar to red so quickly. Be right back. Alright, I'm back. I like how in Gen 1, Sand Attack and any other lower accuracy moves is actually useful. I don't know, it was kind of scummy. It was really kind of scummy. I hated Sand Attack, still kind of do. It's kind of funny, I mean, Gen 1 was the first gen, and I don't know why that gets held against it. A lot of people are like, oh, that gen was crummy. The graphics were horrible. It was glitchy. Mechanics didn't make sense. It's like the mechanics of the game. It was brand new. Like Karate Chop being a normal move instead of a fighting move. That's just how it was. Like, that was how it was back then. But some of the glitches were funny. Like, I used to use focus energy. I remember using focus energy. It's like, oh, dude, I can use focus energy and really land those crits. I must not have been paying attention as a kid because those crits suddenly stopped if I used focus energy. The reason is that it was a glitch. Focus energy, instead of increasing your chances of getting a crit, actually dropped them to 0. So it's literally the worst move in the game. And I'm like, oh, man, dude, I think I tried doing that all the time. That worked out horribly, and I didn't know it. I was ignorant. I had no clue it was occurring. First impressions of the legendary Titans was, who made these? I didn't see. Yeah, that was you. Okay. Sorry, just for a second, I'm like, I didn't check that good enough. Yeah, so I was blown away. I was blown away because I had never seen a Pokemon like that before. It was this ancient Pokemon, this giant Titan thing. I'm like, when I encountered it, I remember because it started out with the 3 legendary birds in Gen 1. They're elegant, but they're powerful. Simple, but effective. Gen 2, they added a little more complexity, so Suicune, Raikou, Entei, the roamers, were still pretty simple in design, but they weren't overly simple or anything. It was very effective, but they added a lot of artistic touch, and it really drove it home. The Titans were simple-ish. There wasn't a lot going on, but it really was because of what they were. They were not just animals. They were these Titans that had been designed. I mean, they were just insane. So that hit home so hard. It was like, whoa, that is the Pokemon I've been looking for. Look at this thing. I remember Registeel was my first. I'm like, Registeel, dude, this thing's a beast. Holy crap. It looks like a Pokemon I would polish every time I take it out of the ball, but man, this Registeel is just a freaking beast. That was back in Sapphire version, so I had never seen a Pokemon like that before. That's why I was like, dang, this thing is sick. Hey, Sydney, how you doing tonight? What are you doing? I am shiny hunting Regigigas. So I'm just going to encounter Regigigas in the den. If it's not purple, I'm going to leave, reset the game rather, and then try again and try again and try again. How are you doing tonight? Solving the tombs was awesome, by the way, because I remember it was really, really cool to encounter the roamers running around, but I felt so awesome figuring out how to use Braille, which I could have just looked up how to do the tomb, but instead I looked up how to read the Braille so that I could solve the puzzle. And it was so awesome when it was like you walk in and then you knew there were 2 other Titans. It's like, oh, what are these Pokemon going to be like? Regice was my second one. It's just the anticipation of getting into the tomb to battle those. Oh, man. And then Rayquaza, forget it. End of story. Like, Rayquaza was just drop dead. Holy crap. This thing is the most badass Pokemon in existence. Wow, look at this thing. And I got Rayquaza after I got the Titans. Good, nice. Very nice. I'm experimenting with a few new things with the stream, and in the meantime, I just kind of sitting back and relaxing and remembering how freaking awesome the Regis are. When this thing turns purple, though, it's going to be a sick, sick design. I think, in my opinion, the yellow doesn't bring it home hard enough. Like, the shiny definitely makes this Pokemon, in my opinion. It makes it look so much cooler. Like, Registeel looks amazing no matter what, shiny or not. Regice looks amazing. Doesn't matter if it's shiny. Regirock, same thing. Looks awesome, threatening. It's a beast, legendary or not. Same with Regidrago and Regieleki. They all hold their own without their shiny form. This thing just looks weird with that yellow, though. I'm not a big fan of the yellow. The purple really looks a lot better. Now, I'm biased because that's my favorite color. I'm very, very biased. But all of that aside, yeah. This thing is just an absolute unit. How long have I been hunting for? Well, let's see. I started... When did I start the stream? I have to go take a look. I have to pull it up. I can't actually see it. I have stuff in the way right now. $55 minutes. Been hunting this thing for 55 minutes. It's cool, too, because I have not had a soft reset legendary in a very long time. I was going to soft reset Poipole in Ultra Moon, but most of the shinies are locked. Like, So Moon, I never got a chance to really shiny hunt those. And then with this, they shiny locked all the legendaries. Eternatus, Zacian. I couldn't get Zamazenta, but still, it's shiny locked anyways. They shiny locked them, so you can't do this. So here I am soft resetting at last. In fact, the last time I actually soft reset anything on stream was Articuno in Let's Go Eevee, which is a hunt I intend to go back to. That one's not done. Possibly I will consider shiny hunting. I don't know. For me, it almost feels like a... what do you want to call it? Like a reputation thing almost. I'm like, I see a lot of shiny hunters, and I've never been one to multi-hunt, but I see them shiny hunting on older generations, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'd like to do that. I'd like to hook up the DS to the computer, and I'll go shiny hunting in Diamond one of these days. That'd be fun. But for now, it's kind of fun to do my shiny hunting in the later gen on stream, and then I just kind of do the handhelds when I'm sitting around doing nothing. Like after a good workout, turn on. I always turn on the Legend of Korra for some reason when I'm working out. Every single time. I watch way too much Legend of Korra. It's like I've seen the series like 4 times now. Why do I keep bringing this one up? Either way, so then I'll relax. I'll get caught up in the series. I'll pick up the DS and shiny hunt while I'm watching it and cooling down. So that's usually when I do my handheld hunting. But I don't know. It's just nice to sit back and talk. So I could do it on any system. Hopefully this weekend I'll get going a little bit on, like you see down there. So I want to always keep my active series down on the bottom. I always want to, that's why I made the overlays. The overlay's not there, like, I don't want to make a generic overlay. So I'm like, first off, I'm going to put what I am doing outside of the stream, which is Shadow Hearts Covenant. But I want to work on Covenant this weekend, sit down and play it for a little while. And Luigi's Mansion is another one I are starting here pretty soon. I just watched that today for the 4th time. Nice. Dude, I friggin' love Korra. Like, I don't know. I think it's because of Book 2, if I had to take a guess by what I've seen, is Korra kind of gets some heat for that one because the spirits made you go into an uncomfortable place. All of a sudden, you've got, like, the world's wrecked. Nothing's normal anymore. There's weird powers with no explanation versus the rules they set up in the first series, so... But, and that and what happened in Book 2 is pretty bad, too, because everyone watched all the avatars disappear. But I not only enjoyed Korra, and I thought that the voice acting, I thought the writing was on par, the voice acting was on par, but think about this. Korra takes place 70 years, I believe. Yeah, it's 70 years after Avatar The Last Airbender, which means that Avatar Korra is actually going to witness another flyby of Sozon's comet. I'm like, oh, dude, a book 5 would have been amazing. Like, what if they... Because Korra didn't end that long ago. I think it's 2016 was when Korra finished up. So imagine they write a book 5 about the firebenders using Sozon's comet 20 years, so Korra would be in her 30s. Like, that would be pretty sick. But, oh, really? Avatar 1 was the arc that made everybody mad. Wow. I know that the Rava thing the Rava and Vatu thing kind of muddied the waters up because of just the logic there. It's like all of a sudden they've not only explained how the Avatar works, they've explained that you can have another Avatar even. It makes Korra not so special, or it makes all the Avatars not so special. Because it's like, yeah, you could also fuse with Vatu and you could get another Avatar. So you're not really that special anymore. It's all explained now. But moving on from that, yeah, I thought Avatar 1 was a really cool story. But I would kind of like to see that. And then I would love to... I think they should definitely pursue making a 3rd series about an Avatar that exists in the modern world. So think about this. Like Korra. Korra witnessed the destruction of all her past lives. However, something Aang could have done, I guess, and didn't, is they had video record. Oh, no, I guess they didn't. Yeah. No, they didn't. They didn't have video recording because Varric invented that. So I think it'd be cool is going on from Korra, everybody after Korra, you can record yourself. You don't have to communicate with your past spirits. You can protect them by recording yourself explaining all the Avatar stuff. So it's like, I would love them to do another series about a modern Avatar with electronics like ours. Do not make it pop culture references and meme references. That would be an easy trap to fall into that would make the series super cheesy and cringy. If they avoid that and write the way they've always written, I bet they could make a really cool modern series where there's an Avatar after Korra that exists with the internet and things like that. Like, now technology has well surpassed the Avatar, so the Avatar is still all powerful, but certainly it's not as easy to be an Avatar as it used to be. That would be what I would do with the series. Juan, because Avatar, The Last Airbender, said people learn the elements from the sky bison, dragons, the badger moles, the moon, and in Korra, it was the lion turtles. Yeah. So the... So I don't know. I don't think it's exactly interrupted because they existed, like... The lion turtles gave them the elements. They didn't teach them how to use the elements. So they still learned how to use them from the already existing elementals in the world. They got the elements from the lion turtles, but that doesn't mean they learned how to use them. In the meantime, I kind of like it because I did see something that said that Omashu, or Oma and Shu, were kind of retconned because Oma learned how to use earthbending from the badger moles and broke up a war because of it and stopped the war and united the kingdom and made Omashu. So Avatar Juan's story kind of retcons that because it's like, well, Oma wasn't the first earthbender. Not that they ever claimed she was, but that she was the first earthbender around. I think it actually kind of sets Omashu up for a bit of a better story because if you look at Omashu actually looks like it was probably a city that was on a lion turtle's back. It's the shape and everything of what it should have been on a lion turtle's back. So if the kingdoms were warring while they were still, or not warring, sorry, if they had existed after the lion turtle had settled down the kingdom and left that kingdom, it would kind of make sense that they had lost things like the element of earth, and then Oma picked it back up. So I thought that was, you get why it makes sense. Yeah, I think it makes sense, although it's not all up front. A little bit of digging will put the pieces together. Hey, you guys. Hey, what's going on? Good to see you. I am finally here. Had a jam session. No way. What do you play? That's awesome. Hey, what's up, Jose? Doing some stuff, but came in to wish you good luck on your hunt. Thank you, my friend. I hope that Jirachi grants your wish and gives me luck, and that I find the shiny. Because I haven't had a shiny legendary on stream ever. It'd be really, really cool to experience that with you guys. Jam session with your friend. That's awesome. That was one of the only things I never did is I never played any instruments, like, privately. Like, I played trombone. Don't ask me why, but I always thought it'd be really cool to be, like, playing jazz. And so I did pick up the trombone. But that was a class thing, you know. I never had anything outside of it. I thought it'd be cool, too, in college to play some gigs with the trombone. Never did. I was like, oh, dude, you know what I'm going to do to make money in college? I'm going to do jam sessions, like you said, and practice up, and then I'm going to go play jazz at bars and such. That did not end up happening. It turns out that I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to be using all of my time to study. So I ended up working in the lab instead. Sydney, you're already here. My bad. Sorry, you're saying hi to them. My bad. But yeah, I was talking earlier. Did you guys see the new movie that's coming out? Or I should say not the new movie. It is a new movie. I'm sorry, it's not coming out. I don't know if they even released a date. Pokemon has a new movie coming out with around Zarude. Or Zarude? Zarude? I've heard both, Zarude and Zarude. I have yet to see an official confirmation on how to say that Pokemon's name. That or the movie already is out. It's just in Japanese only. That could have. That definitely could be the situation. Haven't been on my Switch in a while. I guess I haven't either. I finished up the Crown Tundra Nuzlocke, and then after that I haven't done anything. It came out in Japan already. All right, that's what I was wondering, because it seemed weird that everybody already knew about the cape form of Zerud. I think it's Zarud. It doesn't make sense to look like Zerud. I think it's Zarud. But I don't know what that Pokemon's name is a reference to. That makes it hard to figure out what it is. It's like Alcremie. A lot of people call it Alcrem or Alcremie. And I'm like, no, I think it's Alcremie, because it's supposed to be like alchemy, it's alchemy, except it's with cooking, or baking, rather. You know, so Alcremie. Well, Zarud, I don't know where that name comes from, so I'm not sure how to say it. But yeah, that thing, you're right. I was suspecting that it was coming out in English, rather. So that must be what's going on. Is they're coinciding the event. Either way, it was cool to see that. But I was talking earlier, is Regigigas was actually introduced in the anime in the main episodes. It was not a movie. Like, usually the legendaries are only in movies. And Mewtwo was a really cool way. That was a sick way to introduce it in the anime. And then the movie was canonical with the rest of the story. They don't do that so much anymore, but Regigigas was actually in the canonical series. And the thing actually is just a total beast. It's when Brandon, the leader of the battle pyramid, wakes it up. This thing's like covered in moss and rust. And the rocks have just formed around it, and it just busts through the mountain. It scales the whole hill, like this massive, giant hill, and it scales it in a matter of 2 steps. It towers over everything. I'm like, oh my god, they gave this thing an awesome introduction in the anime. You got a code for Zarud if you bought tickets to the movie in Japan, so I definitely did not get that code. That's why some people already have it. Ho-Oh Episode 1. Yeah, stuff like that. So they showed legendaries in the... Okay, here's a great one. The most famous, probably... This is one of the most popular episodes of the Pokemon anime of all time. I don't remember his name, but the Pyramid Head in the Battle Pyramid, who uses Articuno versus Ash's Charizard. Absolutely one of the most popular episodes, which is weird because I actually thought that the ending of that episode could have been better. But everybody said that was one of the most incredible things. They loved it. That was a case of straight up using a legendary in the main anime versus making it a movie-only type situation. And Regigigas was also one of those situations. Brandon, who used all 3 Regis, by the way, Brandon had all 3 Regis in the anime, and Brandon uses the 3 of them to unlock Regigigas, and that's all in the anime, no movie involved. If I'm remembering this correctly, I could also be screwing this up really bad, because if I recall how that happens, the Battle Pyramid comes into Snow Point. Yeah, it's Snow Point. Paul is absolutely blown away at the idea that Ash already beat the Battle Pyramid, because that's Paul's greatest goal, is to beat the Battle Pyramid. Then Paul, who's an extremely skilled trainer, it would have been very convenient to have him stay around, leaves right as Team Galactic has a ton of stuff go down, and that's how they end up using Regigigas to fight off Team Galactic. So I think that's how things progressed. And then they act like nothing happened, if I recall, because it's like the Battle Pyramid just kind of flies away, and then Ash goes and challenges the gym. It's like, dude, you just battled an evil crime organization with an ancient legendary that hasn't been awake in thousands of years. Like, dude, take a moment and talk about that with somebody. Come on, man. Gary never had a legendary, I don't think. It is really cool, by the way. Sun and Moon. I don't care that people didn't get over the art style. Sun and Moon, which I haven't finished Sun and Moon. I'd say I stopped after Gen 2, actually watching every episode. I came back for XY and XYZ. I stuck in it for Sun and Moon, but then I stopped. Sun and Moon, Ash straight up has Poipole, and that is a legendary. So, I mean, it depends. I don't think Ultra Beasts are not considered legendary officially, but it's kind of like having a legendary. So, Ash is all of a sudden ascended into the point where he can have his own legendaries. I'm like, I'm so proud of the anime, dude. I'm so proud of it. I liked the OP to Sun and Moon. Oh, the open, dude. If that's what you mean, OP, the opening. The first opening, no. But the second one, the Tapus, that intro, that opening is sick. To me, with what I saw anyways, was the very end of Sun and Moon. So there's Sun and Moon, the generation has 3 anime sagas. Sun and Moon, then Sun and Moon Ultra Adventures, and then Sun and Moon, whatever they're calling the last one. 1, 2, and 3. Sun and Moon, the regular one, didn't pick up until the last few episodes. Ultra Adventures, the second one, the second arc in Sun and Moon, they were awesome episodes. They were maturely written. They were intense. They were awesome. Then everything kind of gets happy-go-lucky towards the start of the next season. And then, obviously, they go into the League, which has already been spoiled for me. But we'll see. I haven't gotten through that. But it got a little too happy-go-lucky, the good guys always win scenario. But certainly the second series in Sun and Moon, the second season, it was really cool. Those were really cool episodes. I was so happy to see Pokemon had done what they did. Like, it was just making things actually intense. They show up in the Dynamax Adventures confirmed legendary to me. They show up in the Dynamax Adventures. What's that? In the new anime? Journeys? I know Journeys is bringing back a ton of old characters. Which it's really cool to see that, to be honest. It sometimes felt like X and Y. X and Y, it was like Ash barely... Actually, I take it back. I think in X and Y, Ash basically didn't acknowledge that he had ever met anybody. Like, no one. Not Dawn, not May. He didn't talk about the other regions. There was only one time that he ever alluded to even knowing Dawn. And that was when they were in the museum. He literally says, I know somebody that's got a Piplup that's pretty crazy. And I was like, okay, he finally made a reference to Dawn, but it seems like he was going region to region, and every new region, he just kind of abandons all of his memories of the last region. They don't really acknowledge those characters anymore. Like Paul. I'll see you again, Paul. Never seen again. Gary. Lifelong rivals. See you again. Haven't seen him in a decade. So it was really cool to see that Journeys seems to be picking up that pace, grabbing all the old characters and reintroducing them. Like, okay, Ash is going around, and he is encountering a bunch of people, and he is growing experience, and they're acknowledging that. The Ultra Beasts show up in the Dynamax Adventure. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, maybe he'll get Naganadel back. Wait, what? This person wasn't here before. I just meant someone who appears on Fridays. That's a thing. Wait, what? This person wasn't here before. I just. Oh, you're. Wait, are you? What was that? Oh, that was you. Yeah. I was like, what is that shadow? I don't know what that shadow is. Yeah, you're talking about Crystal. Give me 1 second. I'm actually going to step out for just a moment, and I'll be right back. I gotta check on the kitchen on the cats. I heard something. back. Sorry about that. Naya's here. So, it's going to be a gaming weekend. It'll be sweet. I'm somebody that, like, I don't know, I'm surprised in recording all these Shadow Hearts recordings, but not just that, like, we don't get a lot of time to play in general. I'm surprised how many details I can keep a hold of to where I can go, like, 2 weeks without playing and then pick it right back up. What happened with Shadow Hearts was the disc, I think it had a scratch in it, but I had to get the disc deep cleaned to get Shadow Hearts to play. And so we took like 3 weeks off of it, and I picked it right back up. It was very anxious getting that disc to the freeze point again, because it was like, okay, this is the cutscene, and at this point in the cutscene, this is where the game dies. So after the first cleaning didn't work and the second one, Naya brought the game over, I'm like, oh, okay, come on. And when it got past that scene, I'm like, oh, finally, the game is fixed. Finally. I was so worried that it was fried. Something was wrong. Have to go track down another copy of Shadow Hearts. Thankfully, that didn't happen. Alright, Regigigas. I'm refreshed, I'm vitalized, I got water in my belly. Let's do this. I would love this to be the first legendary I finally find shiny on stream. This would be so fitting. It'd be the perfect Pokemon for this. Zut. Wish I knew what you're trying to communicate to me there. I'm not sure that's the noise that it should be making. It should be making like... Well, actually, I figured that the Dynamax noise is Regigigas' regular noise. I just kind of figured when the thing like erupts out of the tomb, that's the noise it makes. It's very fitting and deserving that they made this thing a level 100 battle. Thankfully, you can't fail this Pokemon, so at least I guess I've looked that up and confirmed it, but I would be a little scared when it comes crunch time. If I actually do find it, I might panic and throw a Master Ball. I'm not sure. Maybe I should test that out. Beat one with a Eternatus, and then throw a Pokeball at it and see if it catches it. I mean, it wouldn't make any sense. What would you do? Re-challenge the den if it broke out? So I would assume that, yeah, Regigigas is an auto-capture like I've read, but I haven't confirmed it, so it technically... I'm thinking, I don't know, what ball would I want to put this thing in either? This thing belongs in a Beast Ball because it's a straight-up beast. But what if I throw a Beast Ball and it fails miserably and then all of a sudden I lose the Shiny Regigigas? That would feel horrible. I would not sleep that night. That would be horrible. Not sure what I would not be able to be coherent with myself. Well, we're not gonna let that happen, Regigigas, are we? I would do a Master Ball. It's a purple ball, purple shiny. Why not? Yeah, I see you on that one. No, that makes a lot of sense. I didn't really think about the fact that the Master Ball is not just the ultimate Pokeball. It freaking matches the thing. So I was thinking it needed to be in something special that if I've got 100% capture rate, it'd be easy to do. I'm going to test that theory out. Let's see if my hypothesis is correct. But yeah, you're right. A Master Ball would fit that thing perfect. It feels... I don't know, if it is an automatic catch, you cannot fail Regigigas. It feels a little dirty to throw a perfect Master Ball at it. But you're right, it matches so perfect. But I want to try and throw a Pokeball just to see. I mean, obviously, it could be a fluke. I would need multiple data points if I was going to do that. But I don't think I need to sit here and... Ouch! I don't think I need to sit here and catch Regigigas every time, like 5 times in a row in a Pokeball. I'll just assume if I catch it in a Pokeball once, we're good to go. But yeah, I think I like your idea of the Master Ball anyways. Plus, I've got 2 of them, so... Later. I like how it says, oh, you could... Oh, that would be a horrible way to fail it. Accidentally throw a... Or select do not catch it. Alright, so supposedly this is a 100% catch rate, so... Let's try it out here. So far, so good. Yeah, I'm pretty convinced. That's pretty strong evidence that, yeah, it's 100% no matter what. But I still think, yeah, the Master Ball does make a lot of sense. Although, you got a problem with that, though, because I hate to do that. People that see Pokemon, I mean, I guess I'll have it physically. I'll have the proof. Just in case, because I really do unload most of my shinies. Like, most of them I end up giving away. Imagine I end up sending that to somebody to take care of, and they value and love this shiny. But then they have a tough time with people believing that they've hacked the shiny because it's in a Master Ball and it's level 100, and a lot of people may just see it and be like, oh, yeah, that's totally, totally hacked. So would I really want to have a Master Ball with that? Nah, that doesn't matter because I changed my mind entirely on that. That's getting into the syndrome of people that think everything in a Master Ball is hacked. No, I'm not gonna embrace that thought. Yeah, I think it's going in a Master Ball. Let me check what else I have. I think the Beast Ball is a good candidate. I mean, a Dream Ball is not that bad. That'd be a kind of decent one. But yeah, the Master Ball is the only one that's really purple, so... Yeah, I think if it's going to match the ball, it needs to be a Master Ball. I would do a Master Ball. Oh, I already read that. I think the Master Ball is going to have to take it because that's the only one that really matches it. If it were anything else, I wouldn't do it, but this is a freaking Regigigas. That's a awesome beast of a Pokemon to do that with. Regigigas, where are you at, bud? We're all waiting on you. Plus, I've never caught one live before. I think that'd just be awesome all around. What a good memory that would be. Thank you guys so much. Seriously, I see that. I don't do any generic messages. That's what the underlying point here is. I never want to be like, hey, make sure you like and subscribe and no. I seriously do appreciate that there are 7 likes on the stream. I seriously appreciate that. Because nobody told you to like the stream. Nobody said you had to like the stream. It was optional. And I really appreciate you guys enjoying the stream with me, and I appreciate more than that, the optional feedback. It's really cool. Especially for some people that on a Friday night, sometimes it's hit or miss who all I know that's going to come around. And especially with Pokemon, a lot of people I know are actually playing. They play a lot of Splatoon and Smash. So my shiny hunting streams, it's hit or miss on who comes by. But I love when someone comes in, drops a like, and they're like, yeah, I'm just in passing. I'll come in and check on you later. I'm like, dude, that's so cool. Thanks for keeping me in mind. I just love chatting with anybody that's got some time. I see the yellow, and I can reset rather quickly. It's a pretty quick encounter time, all things considered. I'd say it's not so bad. It's, for a soft reset anyways, other games were certainly slower than that, like Diamond and Pearl. Oh, no, you know what? I take it back. Yeah, actually, Sword and Shield's probably one of the slower games to reset, and Let's Go Eevee. Because I didn't really think about this. When you soft reset a handheld system, it goes back to the front screen immediately anyways. It doesn't go back to the home menu. It goes back to the start of the game. So it's actually faster to soft reset on handhelds than it is on console. So yeah, this actually is one of the slower hunts. But that's how I like it. I love the thrill of the hunt. You know what would have been awesome? A Gigantamax Regigigas. Holy crap. I was kind of hoping they would give a G-Max form to Nidoking. Nidoking and Nidoqueen. I thought they deserved one. It would have been awesome for them to have G-Max forms. It seemed very obvious to me that that was a Pokemon that would go over very well with a G-Max form. But I don't think they introduced any new G-Max forms for the Crown Tundra. None at all. Zero. Somewhat a buzzkill, I suppose. Makes you wonder where they're going from here, because if you follow trends or the fact that it's 25 years of Pokemon, the anniversary is coming up next year, 25 years of Pokemon. Look at 35 years of Mario. 35 years of Mario, they went all out. They did 3D All-Stars. That was insane. So for 25 years of Pokemon, and not only that, also 15 years since Diamond and Pearl, I am absolutely convinced they're going to follow up Gen 8 with Diamond and Pearl remakes. But if they're listening, they'll find out how many enthusiasts actually loved the idea of a second Let's Go game. I'd be good with that too. I would freaking rock another Let's Go game. That would be awesome. There is so much that I know I've done a podcast about this already. I have tweeted out my ideas and why I'd be excited for a Gen 2 Let's Go game. But, I mean, seriously, the things they could do to have Silver in a Gen 2 game, I mean a Let's Go game, like Silver could have the chance to have the story complete. They could rewrite it, just like they did a little bit with Blue and Red when they had the first Let's Go game. And Leaf was involved. She was never involved before. So they have the creative freedom to kind of give us a more insight on Silver and Giovanni. Kurt could do a custom ball or a customization, a Pokeball customization. Imagine Gen 2 Let's Go. They make Kurt's Pokeball. It's a shop, let's call it. He makes it a little shop, a little workbench, and you have this huge customization bench where you don't just give him the apricots anymore and then he makes the Pokeball. No, you actually are involved. That would be sick. So 25 years of Pokemon, they could knock it out of the park if they wanted to. And I hope they do, because they're the largest franchise in the world. And they just moved. The Pokemon Company is actually making the games in the same building now as Nintendo. I like how you have your stream template. Random to say, I know. No, absolutely not. So I've been wondering about using an overlay for a long time, because I always said, especially shiny hunting, my God, every streamer is the same. Everyone's got the same kind of overlay. They all do the same thing. Whether it's an image or a GIF, it's last hunt, current hunt, how many encounters it took, recent subscriber, and whoever's donating, and it's always the same. I said I want to run my streams more like a podcast. And once I figured out, I was like, you know what? I know how to do this. This is still a prototype. I'm not good with art stuff. or I shouldn't say art stuff, with design stuff is what I meant. I'm not very artistic, and the design stuff is all foreign to me, so I got to learn it on the spot. But I figured if I can brighten it up a little bit and make everything pop a little more, it'd be really good, because I'm like, you know what I want? This is like an open forum. This is like a podcast. I sit here and chat. I have no face cam. This is not about the reaction. It's about the experience with you guys. So I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? First, I'm going to put a stream topic. Every stream from now on, I'm going to have a topic. That way, if someone comes into the stream and they're either new or they just don't know what to say, boom, what do you think about this? Here's the topic of the day, the stream topic. So I think that's something. The bottom box, I'm going to go forward with the idea I threw out in Discord. Apples is the one that kind of was talking about this. Apples had asked if I would read her story live, and I'm like, dude, what if we did? What if I did stories and shinies, where I'm either helping write, or reading stories while I'm shiny hunting? That's what the bottom box is probably going to turn into, but for now I just threw that up there. And then I like the bottom. I'm like, you know what? Here's what I'm recording currently. When I'm not streaming, here's what else is on the series. You don't even have to check out the channel. You don't even have to go to the video section. It's right there. Here's the current game, Shadow Hearts Covenant. So that's how I kind of came across that. Or I shouldn't say came across. It's how I popped the idea. I came across what I wanted. So I just want to get the borders touched up a little bit, because I don't know how to do any of that. So I'm learning, but you know, there's a seam down at the bottom I'd like to cover up with fog. So I'm gonna try and do that, because the seam, I was okay with it when I first did it, and then when I looked at it, I'm like, oh yeah, this looks horrible. I'll fix that. But either way, I was like, you know what? It looks good for now. I'm happy with how it turned out, so I'm gonna continue this. I'll let it evolve a little bit. But what do you think of your template? Yeah, your template is a good one to go off of. Let's put it that way. Your template always says a message to the viewer, like, hey, let me know if something's wrong, or it says, hey, here's a current update. It's not a generic thing. This is the day-to-day thing. Like, hey, look, camera's not on. Just a heads up. Sorry. So you kind of have like an announcement section. And I'm like, yeah, something like that. Here's my current series. That's kind of, I guess, semi-adapted off of what I saw on yours. Because I'm like, you know what? It needs to be like an announcement, an information booth. It doesn't need to be like, here's the last shiny I hunted. Who cares about the last shiny I hunted? Here's the game I'm playing, Shadow Hearts Covenant. Would you read my story? Oh, absolutely. The only issue is it makes the stakes a lot higher. And I think that'd be fun, because if you're sitting there and there's a very good chance you could fail the shiny due to accidentally being distracted, I think that makes the stakes feel a little more, I don't know, thrilling. You know, it's thrill of the hunt, but it's thrill of the fail. I think that'd be the best way to do it. Let me reach over here for just 1 second. I'm not going to soft reset right now. All right. Regigigas, you gonna do this? But yeah, I figured, I've said 1,000 times I was gonna write my story in Discord, and I still do. I'm going to. I need to be in the right mentality. That's one thing for sure. And being at work for as many hours as I've been through the last 2 months, it was hard to come home and want to write. And the weekends, I've been busy on the weekends. And hell, I went into work, dude. My boss is going into work tomorrow, and he's like, you already have been on calls on Saturdays. Like, no. He's like, just take the weekend off. I'll take care of the boss stuff. I'm like, sweet. But working weekends, it gets to you eventually. I mean, there is nothing to brag about in working more hours. Anybody that would hour shame, you see these people a lot. Like, it's the person that went to school, and they're like, psh, I've only gotten 2 hours of sleep for the last 3 years of my life, man. I've been sleep deprived my entire high school career. Like, It's so tough. You have no idea. Well, the adult version of that is, oh, I've worked so many hours, like 50 hours. That'd be a short week for me. No, you don't brag about that. You're giving your life to the company, and the company would never return the favor. So I'm like, I'm tired of working all these freaking hours. It's not physically tiring. It's more so I can reflect on a significant portion of my life that is now gone due to work obligations. And it's not like I'm really accomplishing much. It's very tedious stuff. I'll be honest, there's a patent that got filed recently that I was not a part of, unfortunately. And my boss is one of the people that got stiffed. He absolutely was supposed to be on the patent. They didn't include him. And I'm like, oh, that's I'm offended. And he's offended, but he's not as offended as I am. He's towards the end of his career. He's going to be looking at retirement soon. So he's like, I don't really care. But I'm like, dude, I know you've got 5 patents already, but come on, getting stiffed on a patent? Ugh. How can you deal with that crap? That's the worst thing about being in science. Or sorry, rephrase. The worst thing you can do to a scientist, take their idea, steal it. And to steal your idea or your work and not include you on a patent, oh, that gets my blood boiling. It's almost as bad as if I were to accidentally soft reset over the shiny. That would feel horrible. I've never done it. I have yet to ever accidentally reset over the shiny, and I do not intend to start. We're going to keep it nice and kosher. Not going to break that record. Yeah, I know. It's wow, indeed. It's like he's not as concerned. He's like he's just sitting there going, "Man, these people suck." I'm like, "No, they don't just suck. They are scum, man. They are like, don't let me see you in the parking lot when I'm leaving at like 8 o'clock at night and it's you and me, because man, I would be tempted. Like, come on, you don't just do that to someone." Yeah, the more I look at the overlay, the more I think, because the cut that's there, I kind of wanted the fog to be like an announcement bar, if you will, but I think I actually want to blend it a little bit with the water now. It'll be cool once I get the borders down a little better. I tried to bevel them, but I'm not using Photoshop anymore, and I have no clue how to bevel them the way I wanted to and all that, so it'll be a learning experience, I suppose. I kind of like the text is okay, but it's not popping enough. I need to make it pop more. I don't know if that's a font issue or a lighting issue, or if I need to give it the same thing that the top words have. I'll see. Well, yeah. So I had it covered up in fog earlier, so you couldn't see the seam. I forgot to keep the fog. But the way I like it is like I don't know. I always consider my thumbnails like Bob's Burgers. Bob's Burgers is the show. They have always has the burger of the day, and the running joke is that he's the only one that thinks it's funny. I'm the only one that thinks my thumbnails are funny. But I keep going. It's my look. It's not professional at all. You do not come to this channel to find top tier professional work. The editing is the only thing that's high quality. Everything else is pretty much shoddy. You can tell if Naya made a thumbnail. It looks good. If I made it, it doesn't. But either ways, yeah, I like how it looks. Just need to get the text to pop a little bit. Send it to you and try to blend it. I might take you up on that. Paint 3D. So I thought about doing that because actually I've used Paint 3D a number of times on thumbnails just to get something to be 3D. But I actually liked it better when I had the fog on there. But the reason I took the fog off is because then it covered up the current series thing. Oh, yeah. I guess I accidentally deleted the spacing, too. The current sat back further than recorded, the word recorded. So I guess I accidentally didn't save a lot of those last-minute changes. Be your editor? Anaya was my editor for, like, the first over a year. Like, she was editing everything for me, and I was kind of picking up tricks from her. I do edit now some stuff, like the Pokemon series. She and I both kind of tackle the I Can't Believe You Never Played series. Luigi's Mansion, that'll be one that I would imagine, like, I've been taking the reins on Shadow Hearts. She'll probably take the reins on Luigi's Mansion. If I ever get it working, because the controller broke. Okay. Oh, man, I'm out of water again. Dude, I can feel like my sinus is plugged up by accident. I need to get the humidifier going, but unfortunately, without the water, my voice starts getting crackly, dry, sticky. But I don't want to get up again. I keep getting up. You know what I should do? I should just, I'm going to put a monitor in the kitchen, and then, that's what I want to do, is I want to put a monitor in my kitchen so I can put recipes up. But I can also run the stream out of my kitchen, so I can be like, hey, I'm in the kitchen. You can barely hear me because I'm shouting, but I can at least see the stream. Imagine, like, all my monitors, I could hook up all the monitors so that I could be playing the game anywhere in the house. I don't need to be at the desk. I could be anywhere. Are you going to download Crystal Chronicles? That's a weird one. It's a weird situation because we were, Naya's never played any Final Fantasy, to be honest. So I told her, you're definitely going to want to play Crystal Chronicles. Whether or not it was a recorded series, I don't know. We had never decided. We still haven't. But here's the issue. I had suggested this, and I got my physical copy on GameCube of Crystal Chronicles out. That's when shortly later, they announced that they were remastering the game. And it was a long time before they finally remastered it and released the game. But they said they were in the process of doing it. So the question becomes, do I want to play Crystal Chronicles on Switch, remastered and voiced, or do I want to just use the copy I already have, save the money, and not buy the same game twice? And that's the dilemma. I'm not sure. I haven't made a decision on that yet. I wanted to play with you. That is true. I know the game is plagued by you. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's the problem. Yeah, that was the issue. It doesn't support local multiplayer, I think. No, that's impossible. You were playing with Gore. There's no way. Yeah, it supports local play, right? You can have, just like the old days, you can have two people in the same room playing. I don't remember. Okay, maybe that's the issue. Maybe no. I'm positive you can play via internet, so I could play with you. So what was the issue then? There was something that was wrong with the multiplayer system on the game. I don't remember what it was. No shiny yet? Hey, no, absolutely not. It was waiting for you. Now that you're here, it'll shine. Go for it. Show us all that beautiful purple form. It's happening right now. It's for Gore. On a separate console. Yeah, so there's no local play. That was what the issue was. So then, yeah, that's going to really harm my decision. Because on my GameCube version, I can definitely play local. Online didn't exist. So that's going to harm my prospects of buying the remastered version. Also, what's with the carbuncles in Crystal Chronicles? Those things are thick. Thick carbuncles. Think of Dissidia. Have you ever played Final Fantasy Dissidia, the first one? Carbuncle is like this cute fox-looking thing. And then Crystal Chronicles, which, yeah, okay, Crystal Chronicles was there first, but still. Carbuncle's always had many forms. It changes interpretation in every game. But holy crap, Carbuncle is one ugly chicken in Crystal Chronicles. Raise your hands and give Nito your luck. I already did that. Jose, Red Wolves, and... oh, she's going to kill me for forgetting her... I think it's Kaylee? No, it was Kenzie. Kenzie earlier all gave me Jirachi's luck, and it failed me, so... Damn you, for Jirachi. You have done nothing for me. Gore and I want to play. Yeah, that's the problem. Now I know you guys play Crystal Chronicles, and I'm like, all right, I kind of want in on this. It's like Warframe. It's a game that I definitely have not played nearly as much as I want to. But if I were on top of this, I wouldn't have a massive backlog. To put this in perspective, okay? Here's Red Dead Redemption over there. Now, I know that I wasn't there. Like, Red Dead Redemption was not a game that I was going to play back when PS3 was the modern console. But still, that doesn't take away from the fact that right here, Red Dead Redemption is a PS3 game, and it's on my backlog. The PS5 just came out. Here's Red Dead Redemption 2, sitting next to Final Fantasy 15, which is still in the plastic, sitting next to Breath of the Wild, which is still in the plastic, Fire Emblem 3 Houses. These are all games that I am not even close to getting to. Watch Dogs, Legion. Haven't even bought that yet, because why would I buy a game when I'm backlogged so hard? Same thing with the PS5. Why would I buy a PS5 right now? I'm backlogged all the way to the PS3. It's going to take me forever to catch up. Now Gore is here, and he got the free Stadia. Oh, did you? No way. Dude, no freaking way. Gore, you got free Stadia. I've never met anybody that's been lucky in my life before. Oh, wait, never mind. There's a few shiny hunters that have too much luck for their own good. Just now going to play Pokemon. There you go. Wait, the DLC or the actual game? Because if you're just now getting to the DLC, that's understandable. If you're getting to the game, that's a true backlog. What else is on my backlog here? You know what? I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna stand up and go look at my backlog. Because there's some games that are on the backlog that I haven't bought yet, and then there's games that I have bought and they're just sitting there. Oh yeah, Little Hope, that's definitely going to be on there. Danganronpa is hard backlogged because it was supposed to be scheduled like 15 times already. Okay. Sinking City, Persona 5, Kingdom Hearts 3, all are backlogged right now. They're all sitting over there in plastic. Didn't even know there was a DLC. Yes, I am playing the Crown Tundra DLC as we speak right now. All right, I'm going to go get some water. I'm not even putting the Be Right Back screen on. I'll be right back. Yeah, I forgot too, the biggest backlogged games of all time for me. Pokemon Black, Pokemon Black 2, and Pokemon X. All of those are horribly backlogged because I was supposed to start the Pokemon Black series a year ago. It's been that long. Free, yeah, a free Stadia, technically 2 free Stadia, because she's getting 1 too. Sick. Sick. Don't remove Sinking City. You won't be able to download it again. Wait, don't remove... Oh. No, I have the disc, though. Like, it's not a... It's... well, I mean, I can obviously install it, but I don't have to download it, I don't believe. I have the physical copy over there. I don't know how it happened. Like I say, I've never met somebody lucky before outside of Shiny Hunters. I've never met anybody monetarily lucky. That includes lottery winners. Good that you have the disc. Yes, I have the disc is literally in physical plastic over there. Something happened with their studio, and that's why it got removed. Like, the game is no longer supported on Steam, I want to say, or the PlayStation Store or something. Something happened to the creators, the developers of that game, because it's a small company. It's not a huge company. Sinking City was not like Bethesda. You're talking it's almost probably the size of an indie game company. Sinking City was pretty fun. It looks great. That's why it's sitting over there on the shelf. He found 300 bucks on the floor once. Dude, 300. I found 50. That does classify. So there was an ice cream store on the lake where I used to live. And people would jet ski all the time up to the store and get ice cream. And you just park your jet ski at the jet ski parking. Well, as you can imagine, most people didn't bring their wallets because they're not waterproof, or you just don't want your credit cards flying out. But a lot of people would put cash in baggies. And then that way it's a bag, it's a plastic bag in your pocket so it can get wet and it'll be fine. That's how people did it. Well, somebody must have wandered out of the parking lot or something, and I don't know why, but they dropped it way out, like pretty far from the ice cream store. And there was a bag of money. And I'm like, so when I picked it up, I'm like, I'm never going to find the person that... Well, maybe I should have tried. Maybe I should have tried. I guess this is a moral loss. I just immediately said, there's no way I'm ever finding the person who dropped 50 bucks. It's mine now. And you could tell they went to the ice cream store because it was something like $48.50. You know, there was quarters in there. So it was very obvious they had gone and bought an ice cream and dropped their 50 bucks. The company wasn't paid or something like that. Okay, so it's going backwards then. It's the opposite. They never paid them. Kind of a jerk move. What else is on this old backlog? I'm gonna go check one more time. What else is on my backlog? Technically, we never finished Borderlands 3, so that does count as backlogged. Well, no. I take it back. We did finish it. It was the DLC that we didn't do. But I planned on playing Borderlands 3 again anyway. That was just ridiculous fun. That was just great memories. I love that game. Nothing but fun with that one. The Last of Us Part 2 is officially not backlogged anymore, so I can put that on the shelf. But The Last of Us Part 2 is like the first game I've knocked off my backlog in months. And my backlog isn't games that it's just like, They're not just random games like, oh yeah, I bet that'll be cool. Yeah, I'll get that while it's on sale. No, it's like these are games that I'm passionately wanting to play. It's like, wow, this looks awesome. I'm playing this. Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Last of Us Part 2. Kingdom Hearts 3 looked great. I'm gonna definitely play that. But these are games that's like not just, oh yeah, I'd like to experience that. You know, I don't have a huge collection like that. I can't do that. So these are games that it's like, if they're on the shelf, it's because I really, really, really wanted them. So to have these backlogged, I'm like, dude, it's killing me. Killing me. You better bet that when I have 2 weeks off before Christmas, or Christmas and New Year's, I have 2 straight weeks off. I am going to sit in that chair over there, do nothing. If I'm leaving the house, I'm leaving on a snowmobile, not a car, and I'm going to go get coffee. That's going to be my Christmas plans. Christmas movies. I haven't done Christmas movies in forever. The only lights I'm stringing up are going to be on this stream overlay. I'll string up some Christmas lights. Otherwise, the house, I'm going to put up my icicle lights as I always do, and it makes it look like I have an indoor pool. It's pretty cool. Christmas tree, I don't know how that works with cats. I didn't have a Christmas tree after the point where I had cats with my parents. That was it. No more Christmas tree. So now that I have Vex, I guess I could just put the Christmas tree in a room that he can't go in. Yeah, I'll just do that. I'll plug the tree in. How'd your Halloween tree go, by the way? I didn't see if you built your Halloween tree this year or not. The spooky tree. Man, guys, thank you so much. 9 likes. I really, really want to say thank you for that, because that's so optional. I didn't tell you to like the stream. I asked, and I don't ask that often either, but you guys chose to anyways. So everybody, and there's a lot of lurkers. I see the lurkers. I acknowledge that you're there, and I'm waving to you. You can't see it, but I'm there for you. Hopefully you enjoy the podcast style I've got going on here. But for a Friday night, sometimes it's hit or miss depending on who's going to float around. So I thank everybody who wants to spend time with me. Usually I do Friday Night Smash. I know that I didn't do it this time, and I've become synonymous with Friday Night Smash among people that know me anyways. So, and I've skipped Friday Night Smash twice now, but I also said it wasn't going to be every week. After long work weeks like this, I'm like, you know what? I just want to kick back and shiny hunt. I don't want to get my ass whooped constantly. Yeah, I guess the more I see Regigigas, and I keep seeing Regigigas pop up, the more I don't like that yellow. That school bus yellow just, yeah, he needs his shiny form. He needs it to look good. What do you guys think? If I catch the shiny one, it's a 100% catch rate is what I read, and somewhat confirmed. I caught it in a Pokeball a little bit ago. Should I use something else, or should I use a Master Ball? Red Wolves had suggested the Master Ball because it matches the shiny. But I also feel dirty throwing a 100% ball in a 100% catch rate. It's like, what a waste. But it would also look really cool. That said, I don't know. I kind of eliminated this earlier, and I still do, but when people see shiny legendaries and Master Balls, the first thing they think is, hacker, hacker, hacked. So I don't want that, but at the same time, I really don't care. Hell, there's more hacked Pokemon now than legit Pokemon, so what do I care? Save the Master Ball. Well, actually, Gore, I don't know about you, man, but me, I'm well endowed here, so I'm very fortunate. For me, it's balls, plural. See, so I have 2, but there we go. I was like, did it just lag? I thought about a Beast Ball because this thing's an absolute freaking monstrous beast unit, but I don't know. Beast Ball's my backup, I think, because he's a beast. I haven't decided yet. I know I'm planning ahead, but I'm gonna find this thing. What else? There's nothing else that's really purple. I used to not even match the shiny with the ball. I used to never do that. I used to throw ultra balls with everything. Well, okay, that's not true. Take it back. I threw all my shinies in premier balls if I could. A premier ball wouldn't be bad. I mean, he is primarily colored white. What do you think of that? A premier ball. Beast ball would look cool, yeah. I think the beast ball just looks awesome altogether. It's kind of it's one of my favorites too, because Lucamine basically is responsible for it. So I'm a fan of the beast ball, but at the same time, I premier ball actually. I'm kind of on that fence now because a premier ball with Regigigas would look good. I say, anyways, and you know what? Maybe I need to tweet this out. Maybe I need to actually let somebody know. Maybe I need to submit this idea. Because if they don't know, they're not going to do it. But I think if they make, and I hope they do, a second Let's Go game, a Let's Go Johto game, Kurt, instead of just giving him the apricots and he makes Pokeballs, he should actually teach you, and there should be like a workbench there, how to make your own Pokeball. Imagine being able to customize your Pokeball. I mean, it would be a nightmare for legitimacy problems because, well, no, not necessarily. You could do a custom Pokeball where you can only use it. Let's say, I don't know, maybe legendaries you can't do it. But if you customize your Pokeball, as long as you don't make it to where you can make it look like a Master Ball, then you can definitely customize it in a way that it would look cool and be awesome to have custom Pokeballs in Let's Go. I think they should really, really, really consider doing that. And I'm going to let them know now. I'm going to let them know that they should make ball customization. We kind of had it back in Gen 4 with the contest balls. So you could make the contest balls glitter, sparkle. It wasn't actually the ball. It was a shell outside of the ball. But I think they should make a full-blown ball customization. Have Kurt teach you his ways rather than just do it. You can add attributes to those Pokeballs. Yeah, I mean, that would be cool too, where, let's say, fundamentally, it's nothing more than a dive ball, or a nut ball, or a bug ball. But I'm sorry, not bug ball, jeez, nest ball. So fundamentally, you can give it an attribute, but in look, you can make it anything you want. I think that would be really, really awesome. And now that I think about it, now that I talk about it, I've said this before, said this on the podcast, I've said it on Twitter, God knows how many times. I've said it on Reddit. But I've never told Pokemon. So you know what? I'm going to let them know. I'm going to submit an official ticket via Nintendo's website. I'm going to tell them, look, here's what you should do. No, I can't use Nintendo because the Pokemon Company is a third party. Yeah, they're partnered for life with Nintendo, but I need to submit it to them directly. And then I'll just cross my fingers and hope they see it someday. And then, there on the credits, it'll be forever known as Brilliant Badass Nito Marquis. It'll be on the credits in 2-point font, to where you have to stop the credits, pause it, zoom it in, and then render out the quality so that you can read it. Those are my terms. Take it or leave it, Pokemon. The move is yours. What do you think of a luxury ball? I'm thinking I'd throw too much stuff in luxury balls. Aegislash and Sandy Gas, which makes sense because they're black shinies, are both in luxury balls. But then Duraludon maybe was in a luxury ball? I don't know what the heck that thing was in. I forgot. Either way, I think I'm starting to use that ball too much. then again, throwing everything in a Premier Ball, I don't know if people do that or not. I mean, it's kind of my thing, but at the same time, I think that sounds pretty obvious. Throwing it in a Master Ball would be obvious too, but very effective. Beast Ball, I like that idea. I'm really leaning towards Beast Ball. But this game makes getting a Beast Ball a pain. Those things are not... It takes a lot of time to get a Beast Ball. Also, I can have crazy Ultra Beasts, which, by the way, Poipole is in the game, I found out. Well, they're all in the game, I know, but the Ultra Beasts are in the game, but Poipole is apparently in a regular den like this. So I'm like, hey, Poipole is like one of my all-time favorites. That thing is an awesome Pokemon. I should definitely soft reset that someday. Regigigas, work with me. Remember the noise in the anime? Did you guys ever see Brandon's Regis in the anime? They made like this weird twisted robotic noise. Regigigas made, well, pretty much Dynamax noises. He just made random Dynamax noises. It's a good thing my Eternatus can take out this thing in 2 hits. You do not want to get to turn 5, rather. You don't want to get to turn 5. I can't imagine what a Dynamaxed level 100 Regigigas that gets out of his slow start period. Oh, that would be scary. Master Ball for Poipoi? Master Ball on Poipoi. Because it'd be like the reverse. It matches the non-shiny form. Could be a good one. Yeah, that could be a good one. I'm going to consider that, because I kind of like that idea. I try to conserve the Master Ball for the, oh crap, random shiny I'm not prepared for situation. I've pretty much only ever had to do that one time in my entire life. And that was because I ran into a Smeargle. And I was not prepared for Smeargle. And that's not a good Pokemon to not be prepared for, because it sketches your move. And I didn't have any moves. Like, I forget what I had, but basically I couldn't do anything to get him to sketch something that had a lot of PP. So he was going to sketch something that... In fact, yeah, that's what it was. I wasn't prepared to sketch anything, and I was like, I think it was that it failed sketch. It missed or something. I don't know what it was. But either way, I panicked and threw the Master Ball. That's the only time that ever happened. That's the only time I've ever had to throw a Panic Master Ball, but that's usually why I keep those things. Then, 10 years later, and I still haven't used them. Apples, good morning to you. It is now 9:30 in the afternoon. Seems appropriate that it's breakfast time. Hi, Alma. Wait, you haven't talked in like 2 hours, and the first words you say are sorry? I'm confused. Forgive me, Father Nito, for I have sinned. Smash Ultimate. He's always playing Smash Ultimate. It's 8 p.m. How? You're on Eastern time with me, I thought. Oh, I said I feel sick. Ah, aha. I didn't see that anywhere, so I can't confirm what you said. Premier Ball for Shiny Poipole. Yeah, that's, I was going to say, since it's yellow and white, but I can do that for sure. Followed by screaming. There's no way you said that. The chat's totally empty of you having any messages. What do you mean I'm blind? Somebody else tell me. Did Oma say screaming words and all this crazy stuff? By the way, Alligator, question for you. I was just talking about Florida the other day. Did you know your name is Alligator? Were you aware that alligators can get up to 13... Actually, I take it back. The record is 13 feet and 11 inches. Guys, I don't think I want to go to Florida ever. 13-foot alligator? Really? They showed that in the news, and I'm like, what? No, that can't be real. And the people in the comments were saying, no, that's not real. And then I saw videos, and they're still calling it fake. No, that alligator in Florida the other day was real. That alligator was nasty. I'm like, okay, if you guys live with alligators that are 13 feet long, walking casually around houses, no thanks, I'll keep my bears. The shiny giant. This is going to be a sick shiny. And the second time I've actually caught one. If I ever find it. I can confirm they're large. Sky, Gore, rebuttal. Is Florida really just a bunch of old people and alligators walking around? And if you go really, really, really far south in Florida, you find crocodiles. Oh yeah, Florida man, old people, and alligators. That's what the internet has taught me. I'm pulling it up. I'm pulling it up. Where was that at? There's no way. No, can anybody else confirm that Oma was even in chat? I'm not kidding you. There's nothing there. I'd be more afraid of the crocodiles. The American crocodile, that is the species of crocodile we have, is the American crocodile in the Keys. Apparently, those things are just as massive on average as the largest alligator, which is 13 feet. Which means the crocodiles on the high end of the spectrum are like 16 feet. No thanks. Not dealing with that. Old people and dinosaurs. Oh, okay. Thanks for clearing that up. Deleted her. Well, wait, hang on. Because I can still see that. Yeah, no, you're... well, here, let me check. Let me pull it up on my phone, I guess. You are definitely not there. Nope, I cannot confirm anything. I looked on my phone, same thing. Your chat, the first words you said were sorry. That was the first thing you got. And it's not removed messages either. Nita was blind. I'm not blind. I bet if Sky were to scroll up in the chat, she would see that he said nothing to me other than sorry. Then again, I think this goes back to so I had another friend who in his stream they always competed to say first, not exclusive to his stream obviously, but somebody was arguing passionately that they said first and had screenshots to prove it and no one else could see it. I'm wondering if that's what happened here. I'm leaving now. Have a nice night. Bye. Emily Michelle. Hello indeed. Emily, did you know that Florida has 13-foot alligators? Also known as, oh, hell no, I'm not going down there. That's what I call them anyways. Why do I keep reclosing and opening the game? I'm looking for a shiny. So I'm spawning Regigigas, and every time I spawn him, if he's yellow, I close the game and try again. How are you tonight, Emily Michelle? What's wrong with crocs? I guess I just naturally assume they're aggressive. I wouldn't shoot them or anything. It's not like I'm saying that they should be eliminated on the spot. I'm saying that they can enjoy their nice feet, or their nice distance away from me, about 20 feet or so, and we can live happily apart, but I don't want to get any closer than that. I'm good. You? I'm doing great. Have myself a nice night. I think I got a scratchy throat, but that's about it. Freaking long weeks of work every freaking week, so it's nice to just kick back, relax, and chat. Try out the new overlay. I gotta work on my design skills a little bit. I wasn't gonna use it tonight because I didn't think it was ready, but I'm like, you know what? No, I kind of want to get some feedback on it. I wanted to make something that was not gonna be just a copy paste of every other streamer on the planet. And I think I had a good idea. Part of it may have come from Sky, because I didn't realize that she does like an announcement board on her stream. I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of am doing the same thing. I guess I passively took your idea. So thanks, Sky. Appreciate it. Drink some water. I can't close the game. What animals do I have? Turkeys. Got a lot of turkeys. Geese. Seagulls. Bears. Coyotes. City kitties. Raccoons. Trash pandas. No wild cats. You really don't see wild cats around here. At least I don't. I don't ever see wild cats. Nor wild dogs. I don't see wild dogs either. And then I think there's wolves. That's not been confirmed, but there's some wolves north of here. And the occasional Wendigo or two. I've never seen a badger up here. You know what? There's a good chance, because we have moles. We do have moles, so if we have moles, beavers, a badger might be part of that. I've never seen one, but it doesn't mean they're not here. No, you blew your cover. Now everybody knows that Claire de Lune is Skyheart Demon. Or it depends. If you say it the English way, it's Claire de Lune. I feel so hype every time I enter this. I have to admit, as much as I trashed on Dynamaxing and I said, oh, that's a stupid, lame mechanic, it makes no sense in the world of Pokemon, it's cringy, weird, whatever. But every time I've raided with you guys, I'm always having fun. Every time I enter a den, I always get hype, hoping it's shiny anyways. And every time I see something like this, where Regigigas is Dynamaxed, it's pretty hype, actually. I feel like I'm like, oh, look at this beast. So as much as I trash Dynamaxing, I also have enjoyed it. What is my favorite animal? How do I have a favorite how? Favorite to own? I guess cats. Because that's what I've got now. I've got one cat. Actually, anymore, I have two cats. Naya brings hers over a lot. Hers is a big cuddle monster. That thing's like a little bear. It's like a little black bear. A 10-pound black bear. Lions cannot confirm. Tigers cannot confirm. Bears? Yes. I have black bears, though. I do not have grizzly bears. The old mantra, although I would rather not have to find this out. Supposedly, it's when it comes to what you do in a bear encounter, never turn your back. If it's black, fight back. If it's brown, lay down. So, it doesn't mean lay down physically. It means like back down. But either way, I've never encountered a bear, so I don't want to find out. But supposedly, like, if you have bear mace and you see a grizzly, it's only to be used if the grizzly charges you, because you'll just piss him off is all you're going to do with that bear mace. In my head, I think a Dynamax Regigigas would be the average size. No. I was just talking about that, how in the anime, when in Diamond and Pearl, Brandon wakes up Regigigas, he looks like he's Dynamaxed. I mean, it's an absolute unit. That thing is a machine. I mean, he literally wakes up, busts off the rust, the sediment that's grown on the moss, and Regigigas scales massive hills in 2 steps, which is absolutely appropriate. That's how Regigigas should look. I don't remember. There was a size comparison chart on the Pokedex in Diamond. I don't remember how big it actually is, but we all know that the Pokedex is full of crap half the time anyway, so. Favorite in general? What's my favorite animal in general? I have no clue. I actually, like, legitimately, I'm like, is there an animal I prefer? I'm not really sure. Horses are pretty nice. They're usually pretty docile. Very useful. If it's black, stand tall. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that's because you don't fight like you're not. It's not like a shark. You're not supposed to. Well, actually, I don't know. I think that's a myth. The whole punching a shark in the nose thing. Either way, it's not like a shark. You don't fight the bear if you can avoid it. But yeah, if it's a black bear, make yourself look big. Black, fight back. Brown, lay down or back down. I keep hearing it as lay down, but if that's true, it's possible all of this advice will just get you killed. So if you're dead, you don't exactly get to be like, hey, that didn't work. I don't know if you noticed, but my ear is on my foot now. So yeah, it didn't work. No, you usually don't get to find out the hard way that it doesn't work. What are we doing? I'm resetting the game over and over and over, Emily, until this thing turns purple. So if he's yellow, I'm not interested. When it turns purple, that's the one I want. And this thing is an absolute tank. This is like... Emily, to put this in perspective, the Titan Pokemon, you have to have all 5 of them just to encounter this thing. This thing is level 100, and it's just a nasty, nasty, like... It has some of the highest stats in the entire game. The only thing that keeps me from not dying, or keeps me from dying, rather, is that it has a really trash ability called Slow Start. For 5 moves, this thing's stats are halved. But because he's Dynamaxed, those half stats are like normal stats. So this thing still will... I mean, when he used his hammer arm, he crushed my skull. I was level 70 and he one-shot me. At level 80, I was struggling. At level 90, I could finally take this thing down. So I'm like... I maxed out Eternatus. I'm like, holy crap. And this is absolutely the best thing they could have done. Regigigas deserved this. It's not a myth. Really, the punching sharks thing? I never checked. Make Gigas make Gigas biggest. Yeah, I agree. I think Regigigas, it's like Wailord. Wailord's normal size is already massive, and they represented that in the Isle of Armor. So that's what Regigigas, in my mind, if it could heck, I should catch it. Hold on, I can find out right now if I really wanted to. I'd make him follow me. How big is this thing? I'll check when I catch it, and it walks behind me. I'll see how big it is standard. It's like the Pokedex is definitely wrong. It's like Nidoking. Nidoking's a 4'7" Pokemon, but when he follows you, he's a little taller than you are. So unless you're 4'7", I don't know. Maybe trainers, humans in this world, they're not as tall as you think. Maybe they're all very short. Evolution didn't really work out the right way with them and making them taller. So like, you know, the average trainer could be 4'5". You don't know. If you could make one more Reggie with a different type, what would it be? Poison. I would make a Reggie that had poison from the tomb, like an actual tomb, not just a puzzle tomb, but a tomb, and almost like an undead Reggie. And it would have this poison just spreading, and it's like fermenting. It's like wine. The older it gets, the more potent the poison gets. So by the time you find this thing, it'd have a new ability, kind of like Corrode, except everything that it'd be like Poison Point, except all of its touch stuff poisons you like toxic progressively, you know, exponentially. That's what I would do. You need it then. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's it. This thing is a beast. I gave up shiny hunting all the other Reggies because of the Nuzlocke. So this is the only Reggie I have left, but it's so appropriate. What's my opinion on snakes? I think the garter snakes are always a little adorable. And then, oh, shoot. Trying to think of every time you see like a zoologist doing demos for kids or whatever not, they always use They use the same snake, the yellow and white one. Constrictor. So I think those things are adorable. Poison snakes, they're not bad creatures. They just need to be respected. The spitting cobra, for instance, is a creature that you should just... No, don't pick that up. That's stupid. So, anacondas, get away from them. Regitox. What would I call something like that? Like, if it's Regi Drago, Regi Alecki, what would I call a toxic one? Reg Ice, Reg Steel would be like... You can't just call it Regi Poison. It'd be like Regi... I don't know. Maybe it'd be like Toxicity, Regicity. I don't know what I would call it. I love snakes so much. They're one of my favorite animals. As a pet or as a creature? Because yeah, I definitely agree. Like, snakes are really, really cool, but at the same time, like, my biggest nightmare in the world would be finding out that there's a snake pit under the house. I'd be like, well, great. This house will never sell for its retail or its appropriate value, its estimated value again correctly. I'm not allowed to get one because my family said they're evil because of the Bible or something. No, I don't think snakes are. Well, I mean, I guess anything that's got poison in their fangs is, but I always thought like crows and flies. But no, snakes are it's hard to argue if they have empathy. So that's the only thing I can say is snakes are attracted to body heat, so it's hard to say. Like, a lot of people say that their snakes are super friendly and cuddly. It could be very well argued. Pet owners usually are very emotionally based. They'll throw facts away in the favor of emotion. So a lot of pet owners will tell you, no, my snake is absolutely has a great personality and loves me. Yeah, or it just loves your body heat. I don't know. I couldn't answer that about anything, but Regi Rot. I think it'd be like Regi, something with corrode. That seems appropriate. Like Regi... Regirode? Regirode? How about that? Regirosion. Regirode. I'm getting a snake when I move out. Yeah, I just recommend don't touch the poison ones. I was gonna say, I think I missed a couple of messages up here. No, I'm caught up on everything. I was catching Emily Michelle up on the Titans in the Tombs. Oh, that's what I should have called that episode. The Titans in the Tombs. Too late. That does sound good. Yeah, I think, I mean, it would be cool for them to have the move Corrosion. I mean, to be honest, I thought, I don't know, I guess Corrode is one of my favorite abilities because poisoning a steel type just feels awesome. It's just, like, cool, but I don't know, I thought Mel Metal is kind of a, I don't know, I thought, put it this way, all right, if Mel Metal had a regional variant, or Meltan did, I would make it a steel poison type. It would be like liquid poison, liquid metal, metallic poison. We were talking about the Legend of Korra earlier. All right, remember Zahir's poison? It was a metallic poison. Poisons are very often in chemistry based on metals. Think mercury. Mercury is one of the most poisonous substances on Earth. And it is a metal-based, or actually I shouldn't say metal-based, pure mercury is nothing more than a metal. And it is very toxic. So I think a steel poison type would be awesome. I think Melmetal either could be that, or it would just be fun to take Melmetal down via poison from Corrode. You either food or not food to them. Yeah, I don't know. It's I have a fish. I have a little piranha back at my parents' house, and he really is very, very, very emotional. Like he's got a personality, but I don't think that means he's friendly towards me. I'm not sure. I mean, I've stuck my hand right in the tank when I'm cleaning it, so does my father. You can literally pet the fish. He's not aggressive, but that doesn't mean he likes us. He may not even know. He may not care. That's what I have to say about that. Do you know how many people I could scare with a poisonous snake? A ton. That's why hence they're poisonous, but they're parlor tricks with a poisonous animal. Not a good idea. Poisonous animals took Steve Irwin away from us. It's just their instinct. They don't know any better. That metal thought does make sense, because it moves as if the metal is liquefied. I can see it potentially spreading a poison of sorts. That's what it seemed like it was going to be when Meltan was first announced. Meltan seemed like a Pokemon that was going to be very methodic. Like, I thought maybe it was going to have an ability of, like a corrosion-style ability, but with steel or something. Metal seemed like the way it ate metal was or the way it says it eats metal. It's like, hey, this thing corrodes metal and digests it. It's very methodical. It corrodes it from the inside out. You think Meltan versus Steelix, Meltan is going to corrode Steelix one electron at a time until Steelix starts rotting from the inside out. Instead, Melmetal evolved into a giant thing, a titan if you will, that just punches you in the face really hard. So that didn't go the right, like, that wasn't the way I thought it was going to go. It went the other way. But it was still nice, I guess, to have a Pokemon that was introduced via Go. Stingrays are not poisonous. I think they are highly poisonous, if I recall. I know they're highly poisonous, actually. One of the shows I love watching is Chasing Monsters with Cyril Choquet, and he literally, on 2 different occasions, straight up shows how to scrape the poison off the barb of a stingray and collect it. Meltan looks like mercury. It's actually, it does look like liquid mercury. It also looks like liquid lead. I don't know if they intended that one, but looks like a transformer. Yeah, well, the thing G-Max is, and it looks like it reminds me of something. Like, I'm trying to think. It reminds me. I think it's an anime I've seen where it looks alien-like. That's what Meltan or Melmetal, G-Max Melmetal reminds me of. I can't think of what I'm trying to say though. Whatever I'm trying to remember. Am I scared of spiders? Not really. I'm not scared. I wasn't ever scared of getting attacked by a spider, but now I'm scared of, more so if the spider does bite me, they can infect you so bad that you got to go to the hospital and get a ton of stupid shots and potentially get lesions that cause you to have surgery and your arm gets puffy. So I'm scared of a spider bite because, man, I don't want to pay for that. I actually have a friend that I work with. He's at my old location. Yeah, he got bit by a spider while he was sleeping. His arm looked like a big purple mess. And supposedly the doctor told him he was going to lose his hand. Like, he said if you'd gotten here 5 hours later, your hand would be getting amputated. That was all due to a spider bite. Sleep well, kids. It transforms into a metallic clock. No, it looks like, I don't know what it's supposed to look like. I'm trying to think here. Wait, I might know, actually. Let me look it up. I think I might know. It ejected a harpoon-looking substance that pierced the heart of him. Pulling that out caused him to bleed out. Oh! Well, I didn't know that the poison didn't kill him. He pulled the barb out and bled to death. That sucks. He was like my childhood education hero. Scared of accidentally closing the game on a Shiny Regigigas? Not afraid of that. I'm mindful of that. That's something that you're not afraid of it happening because you deny the possibility until it actually happens. Then you face the reality, and you have to live with it. I've never failed a shiny before, so I've thankfully never failed a shiny. So I've never even had a random shiny that got away from me. So in 500 shinies, that has not happened yet. I prefer to keep it that way. The clock hung was a... Oh. Well, let me look it up really quickly. Hang on. I think I know what I'm trying to think, but I can't describe it. Thank you guys so much. 3 new likes on the stream. Whoever did that, I really appreciate you taking the time to do that. Alright, so that's what it looks like. Now, and with the skinny leg. Oh, I know exactly what it looks like. I know what it looks like. I take it back. It wasn't what I was thinking. Hold on. It, to me, reminds me, if anybody has seen the show Teen Titans, the original, there was a shapeshifter on the very last episode. That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of the shapeshifter from the very last episode of Teen Titans. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Alright, let me put that back. Where's Vex? Probably playing Naya came in the door and woke him up, and then Naya brought her cat over, so they're probably chasing everything. It did sucks. I loved him too. Yeah, some people, you know, I'm not one for the cult of personality. But when somebody like Steve Irwin or, hell, even recently Alex Trebek, when somebody who promotes being educated and respecting everything passes, and they were kind of an icon of that, it's like, it's hard not to feel bad. Teen Titans, can you repeat that last bit? I got the Teen Titans part. Look at G-Max Melmetal. And then look at the shapeshifter on the very last episode of Teen Titans. That's what Melmetal reminds me of, is the shapeshifter. He would take on whatever he was. No, take it back. He wasn't even a shapeshifter. It was a material shifter. So whatever material it touched, that's what it turned into. So if its body would be made of whatever it was touching. So concrete, it would turn into that. Plastic, it'd turn into plastic. That's what it was. And that creature at the end, the very last episode of Teen Titans, that's what Melmetal reminds me of. By the way, you can now get Melmetal as a gift from transferring... Yeah, I just don't know if I'm going to do that because I don't have any Meltans in Go. I barely boot up Go anymore, so I'd have to work on it. Maybe I can work on it. I mean, it's hard to play in a rural area, but I mean, I can go into the city pretty easily, so I guess I could go play. I should consider it. You've convinced me, Gore. I will think about it. I mean, Aiden was really the first person to try to get me back into Go. Go is not a bad game at all. I just kind of take unjustified high ground since I was a VGC competitor. When I see people playing intense competitive Go, I'm like, you guys don't know what Pokemon battling is all about. You guys don't even begin to know. You don't need Meltan. You can get Melmetal. Really? Any Pokemon from Go to home and you get a Melmetal? Okay. That'll be easy. I take it back. I don't need to play Meltan anymore. I don't need to get Meltan like in Go. I mean, sorry, Let's Go, not like Let's Go. I can just transfer anything. That's that might be something what I'm doing. Yeah, it was kind of a white monster, but at the end, he was a white flush monster. But there's a point where he grabs a steel rod and he turns into solid metal. While he looks like he's solid metal, That's what G-Max Melmetal kind of reminds me of. White Monster? I don't know what his name is because we never actually got a name for him. It was an abrupt end to a brilliant show, and unfortunately we're still salty about it. Hey, it's nighttime. Saw it live. The clock just flipped. Yeah, let me look it up. Let me double check. Maybe it is named White Monster. I don't know. That clock is way off. It is not 8 o'clock, it is 10 o'clock. I don't know why it's off. I have a feeling I know why it's off, but it's off for whatever reason. Yep, that's it. That's exactly it. Its name is White Monster. That's exactly it. Do you remember the GS ball? I was just talking about that the other day. So... there was a Pokeball in the original anime that never got used. It was just a recolored Pokeball. It was a green one. Ash is shown throwing it once. That green ball somewhat became the Safari Ball. Basically, they just slapped an S on it and called it a Safari Ball. Well, somebody was talking about that and said that that's the shiny form of a Pokeball. And I said, no, that's like the prototype shiny form. The real shiny form is the GS Ball. Another Pokeball that seemingly didn't get used. I don't know what their intentions in the anime were. We all can assume, of course, it's going to involve Celebi, but they never followed through with the GS Ball. Now, if you have a Wii U, you can have Pokemon Crystal, the digital console. You can get the GS Ball and capture Celebi, like legally. It's a legal Pokemon, so the GS Ball does have its place in the world, thankfully. I should stream myself watching old Teen Titans for nostalgia. For what? How long do you think it would take for them to come take down that stream and then strike the channel? Gotta make sure TV doesn't go on standby. The GS ball became gold on top and silver on the bottom, and then it had a little GS symbol engraved on it, is what it was. In the anime, Ash was supposed to transport that ball to Kurt, and then Kurt was going to do something very important with it until that storyline got abandoned. Do it on Disc. Yeah, okay, I guess I could do it on Discord. Because I have the Teen Titans DVDs, so I could literally just stream my screen. I'll think about it. I'll think about it, Apples. Coming up on 3 hours of resets. That's a healthy hunt. I'd say that's coming up on probably 550 encounters, somewhere around there. My guess is as slow as this is, I'm thinking that this is about 100, maybe 150 encounters an hour. That's my guess. Anyone remember Jurassic Park? Actually, Oma was in chat earlier. He's a huge Jurassic Park fan. Huge. Actually, no. Wait, Skyheart Demon is a huge Jurassic Park fan. Not a very good Jeep driver, but certainly has her way around a park before. Sky, what was that game? I don't know what that was called, where you were making your own Jurassic Park. Spared no expense. What, the park or... I don't know. There might have been a lag in you hearing what I was saying. Okay, that didn't answer the question. She was playing a game. I had not heard of the game. It looks... What? I am perfectly fine, I'll have you know. It buffed right out. Like, you trust me, you can buff that crack out of the radiator, I promise. That Jeep will run fine. Jurassic World Evolution. Okay, she was playing that. And it was great. That game is awesome. It was basically, think of it was like a roller coaster tycoon style game, modernized heavily and Jurassic World themed, or Jurassic Park themed. And you can drive the Jeep. Well, I wouldn't call what you were doing driving, but you can certainly operate the Jeep. Jeeps, plural. What? Yeah. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break. The cats are ready to get fed, and Naya is showing me a hungry cat. Vex, I see you. I'm coming. All right, guys, I will be right back. Give me 1 second. Hi, Vex. I know I love you too. I'm gonna feed him and Naya's cat really quickly, and then I'm gonna leave the last encounter. So I'm gonna make one encounter here. I'm not gonna look if it's shiny. I'll find out when I get back. Be right back. You'll all find out too. Actually, I'll put the be right back screen on, because you won't hear if it's shiny or not. Be right back. And it was not a shiny. Let me just double check. No. Not a shiny. What's up, guys? I'm back. Cats are fed. That means they're happy. They're happy? I'm happy. The heck was that? Heard something outside. It was like a truck going by, but it also sounded like an animal. I loved how loud Rex was in the original film. Rex in the original film. Oh. Tell Vex I say hi. Vex, Apple says hi. Don't look at me with those big eyes. You just say hi back. Meow or something. Acknowledge the presence that you have been acknowledged by. Nope. Nothing there. Next. Oh, I should have filled up the water while I was in there. I don't know why I didn't. So much for that. Anywho's, what are you guys all up to tonight? I'm gonna keep hunting. That's the thing about the thrill of the hunt. The more and more I hunt, the more encounters I get, the more I want. It's like a gambling addiction. It's like, no, just a few more, like 5 more. Okay, 10 more. Okay, 15 more. I got it this time. 16. Promise I'm done. 20. Pictures of your cat? There's a ton of them in Discord. Solid, nope. Absolutely not. Reset the counter and try again. Hang on 1 second. There you go. There's Vex. He has a new box. There was I grabbed the Amazon box and threw it in the living room, and now he kind of jumps in there. He's finally big enough to have a big kitty box. That's the important message here. Perez hunting Regigigas right now. 2,500 encounters. No shiny. I am 3 hours. Actually, I'm on the dot. 3 hours in. No shiny. Although technically, well, yeah, it doesn't really count. I was gonna say technically, I've caught this once already, but hey, this is a new hunt. That doesn't matter. The past does not matter anymore. This hunt is new. That's why phase hunting doesn't exist. People try to say, hey, I phased. I'm 5 phases in. It's like, no, it doesn't exist. Every hunt does not care about... Heck, every encounter does not care about your last encounter. It's a cold, shiny world out there. But certainly good luck on your hunt, because Regigigas is the only one I never caught. For whatever reason, I used to think that Regigigas was kind of a plain design, and I wasn't a fan. I've changed my opinion on that, I swear. I was thinking of what moves I could give my Regigigas, because I got Hammer Arm, Giga Impact, Ice Punch, and Protect, which, by the way, it is absolutely amazing that this thing can learn Protect now. Thank you, finally. Once it finally gets to turn 5, it's useful. Well, 2 of those turns are freebies. Although you can predict that they're going to use Protect now really easily. So reading a Regigigas is probably a 50-50 shot. You can poison the thing, for instance, because you know, like, hey, he's on a Protect turn, use Toxic. Now you know that he's not on a Protect turn unless he's boldly going to go for the double Protect. Get him! I'm thinking of dropping Protect for another move because I can only use Regigigas in doubles. That's the only way you can use it, and even then you gotta have something with Follow Me and get that thing off of Regigigas. You gotta stall. Like, Follow Me, put them to sleep, whatever you can do. Get everything off of Regigigas. Like, you gotta stall hard. I want all of my Regis shiny. The only one I don't have is... Well, I'm sorry, I don't have any of them anymore. They're all gone now. But the only one I've never caught shiny was Regigigas. but now I'm aiming high. I'm aiming high again. Just like back in Snow Point and Diamond, I'm aiming for Shiny Regigigas because this thing's a beast. I wish it had something more glamorous than a measly little den right here. Like, this is not distinguished at all, but it's still good enough. They gave him a level 100, and you needed to have the other 5 Regis, which means now you can officially have a team of 6 different Regis. But they did this thing right. They did justice to Regigigas. This thing's a beast. I'm sorry, this thing's a titan. He is absolutely a little cuddle monster. Vex the cat is not Vex the Destroyer. I called him Vex the Destroyer. I don't know. He can destroy. He's not. I don't know what he does while I'm at work. I mean, he could probably be destroying everything. I never see anything broken, so he's pretty good overall. Neutralizing gas. I'm thinking of skill swap and or simple beam. That could be a good run to run. Simple beam. Anything you can to definitely get that off of Regigigas. I mean, if you could technically run Trick Room, I think there's definitely, I mean, coming from a VGC background and competing in regionals and such, I can tell you right now, you want wins, counter the counter. So you've got everybody who thinks their team is hot stuff. Then you've got the people that go on Twitter constantly and they're like, yeah, I'm running Trick Room. I just took out all the undefeated people. You run anti-Trick Room, which can actually also be a Trick Room team, and you're going to destroy those people and just claim the mountain. And now with pretty much popular YouTube builds and such, you know what everybody's running. They're all following whatever the popular people on YouTube do. So it's easy to counter it. Either way, I digress. Trick Room could be a nice setup for Regigigas at least, because if you can't beat them down, you can at least do yourself a favor and outspeed them. Or you could technically, if you're really devoted, if we're talking like your stock portfolio is a 10 and 15 year portfolio. If you want to build up Regigigas, you could baton pass into it and then stall for a little while, which would be a momentum killer. So you're setting up. Suddenly, you baton pass out into something that requires more setup. But once you're done setting up Regigigas, workout world, you're going to look at a sweeper that's going to just freaking dominate. So technically, you could do that. But I think trying to pull that off is probably never going to happen. Well, no, I'll never say never. Yeah, so that's what I mean, too, is you can unset it. So if they're going to run Trick Room, a lot of people love running Trick Room. They think that it's some higher... I don't know, Trick Room, it's always been, and I say always, Trick Room wasn't around when I was around. It came into play Gen 5, I think, which was my first generation out. Either way, Trick Room seems to be that thing where people that run Trick Room think they're on the highest level of playing there is, not realizing that you can use Trick Room to counter their own Trick Room, and if you're running a Regigigas, their Trick Room's already going to help you anyway, so you could baton pass in to Regigigas and utilize a Trick Room if you really wanted to. But again, now you got to set up the Regigigas, and you got 5 turns. Well, a lot of Pokemon don't make it 5 turns. Only Stallers make it 5 turns, which is exactly what you got to do. So it'd be very difficult, but certainly something fun to try. That, or you just teach every Regi explosion and then just throw them in there like a bunch of bombs. I mean, I guess that could work too. Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. and don't do that. That would never work. But it's how I got my 100 wins in Battle Tower in Gen 3. If you could give Regigigas Moxie or Huge Power, maybe ditch the slow start ability on something else. So there is a way to do that. There is a simple way. I was talking about this the other day because I was like, I wonder how this would work. with Regigigas, Regigigas comes in and that slow start takes effect. I don't know off the top of my head, I can't remember, if taking slow start off of Regigigas corrects its stats immediately or if it's still doomed to have low stats until the other part of slow start kicks in. Technically, you could hit Regigigas with a Wandering Spirit and get that stupid ability off of him. And if you can do that, you're golden. Speak Spanish. I'm afraid not. I'm sorry. That looks like Nakito. Unfortunately, I do not speak Spanish. My apologies to you. I wish I could help you out on that, but I don't. I could pull up Google Translate if you want. I'd be willing to do that. So not entirely baton pass, but something like that. Yeah, I mean, getting the skill off of it with skill swap or Wandering Spirit, and that'd be good too. Is like if you could get Wandering Spirit off and then move into a skill swap, possibly. I think there's just too much setup there though. But you know, at the same time, you got a Regigigas coming in. You know you're gonna lay the smack down with that thing. So it's up to them. The ball's in their court to counter it. Because if they try something super cheap like, oh, I'll just spam Sleep Powder or Spore, you know, if they go with an Amoonguss Spore build, you ain't going to topple a Regigigas with that. So you're going to have a wall breaker. You're not going to just stall out a Regigigas. You're not going to be able to stat a Regigigas. Like, you're going to need to work for it. So if you start setting up and they're not ready, oh, you got them. You got them right there. But the big thing is, especially with Regigigas, you gotta probably make sure that you have control over the speed. I mean, that's pretty much my mantra with every battle, is the person who controls the speed controls fate. Instead, completely boost the dominant attack. It'll be one huge setup. It is, but I think there's a lot of setup that would go into it. So much so that it's like you're moving slow enough at that point that they know what's going on. They're going to be countering it all day, but you can try. It would be an extremely satisfying thing. Exactly, Regigigas. To get a Regigigas set up, oh my god, that'd be hilarious. You know, there is one more thing you could do. Never thought about this, actually. I kind of want to see this now. You could send a Ditto in and use Transform. I think that would be even harder to set up. But you could send in a Ditto and use Transform. I don't know if that would work, though. It's a game of inches, but it takes a few turns. If you're going to devote to the setup, you got to devote hard, that's for sure. But, I mean, it pays off. That's what's so cool about Pokemon was there was always so many strategies. Are you going to fire a cannon, like, right out of the front gate? You've got a wall, and you're going to start setting up? Or are you going to have a wall breaker and try to take over on turn one? There's what kind of player are you type of situation. I've always been more versatile. I try to switch it up because I don't want to be too predictable. So, but I also like just kind of messing around with stuff. Like anymore, I'm not super competitive anymore. Those days are behind me. I'm more so like, hey, I wonder if I could get this to work. I mean, I got the 6IV Ditto on Let's Go probably 5 months ago, intending to breed a little bit. And then I just look at my backlogged games over here. I'm like, you know what? I really don't want to. I've already hatched 40,000 eggs plus in this game. Or, I mean, in this franchise. I think what I want to do is instead of building up teams, I just use the IVs that I got. Plus, you can use candies now and mints, so you can wipe everything anyway. I don't think you actually need a 6 IV Ditto. No, you do. Yeah, take it back. You can't change the IVs, so you do need the 6 IV Ditto. But still, it's a lot easier to breed. I mean, you don't have to hatch 1,000 eggs. You can hatch a couple of eggs. Maybe you're after a hidden ability, so you get the hidden ability, and then all you got to do from there is mince and change the nature, change the EVs, the stats. You can wipe the EVs. I mean, that's awesome. Plus, I think they in Gen 5, I want to say, they finally they got rid of that EV thing where for some reason you could get 252 EVs on there, and they finally replaced it with like 254 something like that. No, it'd be 240, 244. Yeah, it must have been 256. They changed it to 256 from 252. No, that's what it was. It was 254. I'm sorry. I'm in a giant tizzy. You could get 254 EVs or EV points on a stat, but it made no sense because the last ones they didn't divide out into 4. So what was the point? So they increased it to 256, so you could finally squeeze out that last little bit. That was kind of cool, but because you always had to put your leftovers in one stat, and usually it was speed if it wasn't already speed. So if I was building like attack and HP, or usually attack or special attack EVs paired with speed, and then you throw the leftovers in HP. But yeah, things have changed a lot. With the Ditto neutralizing gas is off the table. Yeah, so that maybe there is something there. I'm gonna think about that. I gotta transfer those Dittos from the Shiny Hunt up. Maybe that's what I should do is bring Ditto in and give it a shot. A Ditto Regigigas build. Good luck, right? Oh, how much longer do I want to go? Yeah, I'm thinking, you know what? Oh, dang, dude, okay. First off, I did not see the notification go off or anything, so it must have been private. Yeah, it doesn't say. So 2 people subscribed. If you're out there still, seriously, thank you so much. Whoever the 2 are. I really appreciate it. I'm honored to be on your subscription list, truly. Then 16 people liking the stream. Again, thank you guys so much. I'm looking at it now. I'm like, wow, and it's just incredible. Seriously, thank you guys so much. I hope it was fun. You know, the format. I'd like to run some shiny streams, but like I say, I'm not trying to do it like everybody else. You look at shiny streams, and they're all a dime a dozen. They're all very, very similar. So I'm trying to change things up, and with the overlay, that's a good way to start. Because the overlay is not your typical overlay where it says how many encounters, what was my last shiny. No, it's like, hey, let's start a discussion topic because this is like a podcast, basically. It's like an open forum. I kind of want to have a topic of the day from now on. And then stories and shinies, I think, is definitely going to be an awesome, awesome idea. That sounds really cool. I should pull Discord up. It says got a few messages popped up, but you know what? Yeah, you know what? Let me throw the Discord link in there. It never hurts. I invite anybody who's interested. If you want to leave, I won't take it personally. If you want to show up, you're always welcome whenever you come by. But I do have a Discord server. I am proud of the way it's been built. It seems like so long ago that Sky, you're actually the one that built the foundation of the server, and Naya helped build the server, and she and I were tossing ideas around forever. But there it is, the link if you are a Discord user and interested in joining. I extend the invite to you. Welcome to the Nuzlocke. Should you choose to accept this invitation, great things await you. Philosophies, legends, all beyond the doors of the Nuzlocke. Just a thought there. Could there be a way to both baton pass and skill swap that same Pokemon. Better ability and throw in buffs on the same big stats. It may be difficult, but it would be one Chad move. You'd be flexing. You'd be flexing. I mean, put it this way. If you got to change the skills and buff the stats, you're using a Pokemon that needs to be on the bench. But I would love to do it. I think I'm going to try this out. I think Baton Pass skill swap, possibly a Ditto Regigigas combo. God, I would die 100 times before I pull that off. Because if you go into doubles, like you go into public doubles, pretty much everyone uses the same thing. Like set up Tyranitar, set up, oh God, Impidimp, what's your crap? I just drew a blank. Morgrem. Not Morgrem. God, what do you evolve into, Morgrem? My brain. This is how I know that I've been up for too long. Holy crap, how did I forget your final evolution? Marnie's, like, best Pokemon. God, what the... Oh, my brain is dead. Anyways, you see the same setup, like, over and over and over and over and over, because they're all using YouTube builds. So as long as you can counter that, you might be able to pull something off. Don't tell me. What does Morgrem evolve into? God, you look like a persona. I've seen you 1,000 times. Ah, forget it. Pull up the dex. I can't remember the freaking thing's name. Oh, it's killing me. Can't believe I forgot. Wait, hold on. Alright, so where's your evolution? Habitat, motion, cry. I can't pull the evolutionary lineup? Dang it. I'll just look. I'll just scroll up and look one at a time. I can't believe I don't remember what you evolve into. Or what the name of that thing is, rather. The persona-looking Pokemon. There it is. Grimmsnarl. It was Grimmsnarl. God, I couldn't remember the name of that freaking thing. Grimmsnarl. Let's see. For me, I just saw a Pokemon I liked and thought, yeah, this might be fun. Nope. No shiny there. Yeah, that's for me, it's like, I play the opposite that I used to play. I used to play like, I don't know, you just take the name and face off, take the design off the Pokemon. I only care about the stats and the ability. Now it's like, you know what? I'm going to make that work. I'm just going to mess around with this thing. Yeah, I think I'll go for about 20 more minutes. A decent amount of encounters. No luck. That's all right. Nope. Hence Tauros sets. I love Anger Point Tauros. What else uses Anger Point? I'm not very familiar with anything that was added after Gen 4. In fact, even Gen 4 is being fuzzy for abilities and things like that. But I'm trying to remember. Anger Point, there's something else that uses that as like a signature setup. Oh, who else uses Anger Point? No. My brain's fried for the night. Whatever it is. Kind of fell asleep there for a while. No worries. I'm thinking I'm going to probably do the same in about 20 minutes. I'm starting to slow down a little bit. I think it's, yeah, Crocodile. I think you're right. Crocodile does use Anger Point. That was a popular one for a little while. Crocodile even make it into this game? I don't even know if it's even in the game. There's not that many Pokemon that are still missing from the game. There's only like 110 or something like that that aren't in the game, so we're not too far off. We're like one Pokedex away from having everything represented in Sword and Shield. We did not hit, which I didn't expect us to, but before Sword and Shield released, my poll on Twitter was, do you think that we're going to have 1,000 Pokemon? The answer was overwhelmingly, yeah, it was yes. Everybody thought that we were going to make it. For Sword and Shield to hit 1,000 Pokemon total it had to add like 276 more Pokemon, I think it was. And to put that in point of reference, the most Pokemon ever added in a generation was Black and White. They added 258, I think. And then, no, well, sorry, no, they added 158. I'm off. Sword and Shield would have had to add like 176. Black and White added 158 Pokemon, if I recall, and then Gen 1 was 151, of course. So we didn't hit it, but next generation, there's going to be a Pokemon 1000. It's going to be crazy to think. One thing I wanted to hear your opinion on was who your favorite bad person in The Legend of Korra. Amon. Amon was my favorite by far. Amon was just absolutely awesome all around. He was kind of like the opposite. Well, not the opposite of Fire Lord Ozai, but since Ozai was for the entire first generation of Avatar: The Last Airbender, that was the big bad guy, was Ozai. It was really cool to have somebody who's, rather than totally dominant, was underground, and rather than just forceful, brutal, and powerful, Amon was calculated and waited. I have hiccups now. So then when Amon ended up being a bloodbender, it was like, part of me was like, the psychic bloodbending part was weird. It felt OP. It was like, what? You do it without the full moon and you can grab an entire, like, it almost felt like Amon, even though he met an untimely end, Amon being more powerful than his father means he was the most powerful bender ever outside of a fully realized Avatar, because it was like he could bloodbend a whole room just like his father, and he was a master of psychic bloodbending. It was like, it was really OP, but at the same time he never fought like he was OP, you know? He didn't just exercise his OP prowess, let's call it, where, you know, it was like, yeah, he didn't go around bloodbending everybody until the very end. So he was using it to dodge attacks and such, and just, he was a really cool setup. I loved him as a villain. I felt bad. Supposedly, I've read rumors that the reason they did what they did is because they weren't sure. It was too last minute that Korra was going to get a second season. So they panicked and thought they had to wrap things up at the end of season 1, and then it got renewed after they already did all the footage. So they already animated everything. It was too late. They had the voices, the script. It was too far along, so they had to off them on. But supposedly that was not their intention originally. Flying is OP too. That was, I mean, flying doesn't make you a threat right away necessarily. It was pretty cool that he was able to do that. Like, there had to be a higher level of airbending, and so when they did what Zahir did, which was learn from Guru Lahima how to ascend, it wasn't so crazy. Like, I think a lot of people thought it was like, oh, what? He can't do that. That's so weird. I didn't think so. I thought that one made sense, but that didn't make Zahir a threat. Heck, Zahir, they straight up said that Zahir was one of the people that could single-handedly take down any bender. When they were introducing the Red Lotus in that series, they were like, Zuko said, single-handedly, these people, or rather alone, these people could take down any bender. Together, they could take down a whole army. First thing I think of is Zahir literally got his butt whooped by Tenzin, so yeah, it was somewhat a strategic placement. He was retreating at the same time, but yeah, Zahir got whooped by Tenzin, so he wasn't really that tough. But I did like Zahir. I thought he was, I thought they were all fantastic. I thought Zahir was a very, very cool villain. Kuvira is probably one of my favorite characters of the entire series. You know your stuff. Yeah, I dove way far into it, man. I dove way far into it. The only thing I haven't done is read the comics, and I always said I would do that, so I'll get to that someday, I'm sure. But yeah, heck, I actually started a Reddit discussion because I was like, what the heck? I noticed something when I was, or I shouldn't say I noticed it. I thought about it again after a few years. What's something that doesn't make sense about Zahir? He is a philosophical genius. He's calculated. Everything in his life is calculated. He doesn't know the outcome necessarily. Like a lot of people, like Azula. One of the mistakes I think they made with Azula was because she's supposed to be over-calculating, that she always knows, like everything always plays into her plans, except for a friend betrayal. Like, basically implying that she's never wrong except for when it's out of her control. Zahir, on the other hand, they made him more grounded, if you will. Because, yeah, he was very calculating, but that doesn't mean that it always works out in his favor. That's not how it works. It means he's planned as much as he can. Either way, I digress. Zahir is super philosophical and extremely willed, because he didn't crack when they were interrogating him for 13 years. Here's the problem. Tenzin clearly says when they tell Korra about the Red Lotus that it was Tenzin, Korra's father, Sokka, and Zuko that stopped the Red Lotus the first time and arrested them. So, why would Zahir, who was obsessed with airbenders, even when he wasn't an airbender, how could someone as smart and calculating as him, who is obsessed with airbenders, forget he met Tenzin? Because when he sees Tenzin again, he says, it's an honor to finally meet a true airbending master. Hey, moron, you met the dude 13 years ago. How did you forget? That's a plot hole with Zahir. It always bothered me. I was like, how the heck did that happen? He could adapt? Yeah, what was that in reference to? I was going pretty far there. I didn't see that comment in time. What adapt to what? I also, I don't know anymore. Whoops, my bad. That's on me. I got going there pretty good. I also liked Plea. I liked that they set Plea up to not just be a copy-paste of Combustion Man. Because Plea, yeah, she didn't really do a whole lot of calculating for the plans or anything. She just sat there and fired. But at least they gave her the ability to skew the trajectory. The trajectory of her shots, her combustion bending. She could bend around the corners. So I was like, okay, cool. She's not just another Combustion Man. And, of course, when she fought against Sue and Lin, that was crossing a line that I didn't think they had the guts to do. But, yeah, that was awesome. The queen ate her father's pet. Dude, that was savage. That was not only savage, but that's part of the reason, outside of the not taking care of her people thing, part of the reason I did not feel bad for what happened to her. I also like, that was I'm sorry, it's not a redemption. I can't call that a Zahir didn't get any redemption, but Zahir, obviously his plans didn't work, Korra would have been dead. But what I really like is that even he was mindful of the fact that his plans backfired royally, because he did two things. He ended up not defeating the Avatar, and he ended up back in jail. The love of his life ended up with a blown-up head. And then on top of everything, he created Kuvira the dictator, the opposite of what he meant to do. He meant to start a revolution. He created a dictator. So that was kind of funny, because it was like, they made it to where even Zahir, who planned out all these things he put into motion, the revolution, all this, all of it was calculated, and it backfired in the worst way possible. Yep, pet's name is Bosco the bear. I always remember because I always think of Bosco sticks. And apparently in their universe, bears live a very long time. Legend of Korra is trash. It should have been more adult themed. I think it had some maturity in there. I think there were a lot of things it addressed that were mature. Not too much. I mean, obviously the graphic deaths was a huge thing that I didn't expect them to do. I was impressed with that. And I guess some of the, well, yeah, I guess a few more adult themes would have probably put it, well, no, it was already in teen category, but yeah, it had some maturity to it. Korra's development was definitely part of that, but there's a few more things I think they probably could have made more mature, like less Milo fart jokes and more serious topics. Yeah, it was more mature than The Last Airbender. So in Avatar The Last Airbender, it seemed like a lot of the time the serious topics brought people back down to earth. So early on in Avatar The Last Airbender, certainly was very immature. And that wasn't a problem, it's just how it was. But as it got going, it was almost like you would see things like secret dance parties. And yes, it had an underlying theme of cultivating the next generation and such. But what you didn't see were a whole lot of families affected by the Fire Nation. Like, yes, you saw how many people, it was very generic though, you saw how many people were affected in a generic way. You didn't see, like, how horrific it was for everybody, truly. I mean, you kind of saw that with Jet. Jet was one of the more mature parts of that that series. Felt stale, script was plain, the characters were okay though. I'm gonna disagree with you on that one. I thought the script for the first season was awesome, and the second season, I think, if I had to pick one that was lacking, it was probably season 2. I really liked how they explained Avatar 1. What didn't make sense was how it was like the spirits were almost, it was like a, how do I say this? It was like a one-up thing. You know, you ever watch, like, I don't know, an anime like Bleach, for instance, where you constantly think you've got one up, then it turns out, no, they were ahead of you the whole time. It turns out they had a secret plan. Then you overcome that, but no, oh, they had another secret plan. You know, it's just coughed up my water. That's kind of how it felt. The second season did feel like it was almost like they weren't planning ahead as well when they were writing it. Season 3 and 4 were planned out quite well. Season 2, it felt like they were going with the flow, and what that led to was cornering themselves all the time to where they had to be like, oh, but wait, we have a secret plan that you didn't know about. Oh, but wait, you know, one of those type of situations. Season 2 was the one that fell behind the others. Yeah, I think everybody seems to agree with that. The Red Lotus seemed like, I know they didn't plan, like when they were writing season 1, they did not plan the Red Lotus, but it fit. It made sense, it fit. So then season 3 and 4 really meshed quite well together. Season 2 was the oddball for sure. Most of the villains in Korra felt cliche. Amon definitely was not cliche. Amon was very unique. Oops. Okay, there we go. I was going to say I got to shiny check it really quick. So I would say Amon was not cliche. In fact, if anything, Ozai was cliche because Ozai was built up. That was really what got Ozai going. He was built up extremely well. But in the end, Ozai was just angry, big tyrant, world domination, and lots of power. But the way they built it up made it work great. It made the final fight, like, just explode. It was the climax of the whole series. We've been waiting 3 seasons for it. With Korra, that's why I say Amon was out of nowhere. It really was something that you never expected. You were confused about it all times. He had a plan, and he was conniving, and then he surpassed expectations. Tarlok, it was weird because you could tell that the deception, it wasn't really out of left field thing. It wasn't it wasn't like a super surprising, oh my god, giant moment. It turns out he's evil. You could almost feel that he framed his brother coming, you know? If anything, the biggest plot twist there was Korra attacking a judge and threatening the life of a judge. The Avatar literally turning on the legal system. That was the biggest plot twist out of that. But it wasn't bad. It was uncomfortable almost, like explaining how to make an avatar. It's like, you should have just left that one up to mystery. I think it felt a little better. I love the Avatar wand part, though. Zahir, same thing. It was we never expected to have a psychotic airbender. Definitely never expected that. And yeah, he had somehow figured out the Avatar can die in the Avatar state and end the Avatar forever. So he came across that knowledge and used it. I think he was well set up. And then Kuvira was just absolutely awesome. The only thing I didn't like about the Kuvira part was actually Sue. Sue and when they come to take Zalfu, why did she put up such a fight? You would think that she would have surrendered to her old pupil and not wanted to do violence as the counter. She would have wanted to discuss it, talk to your enemy, but then instead, I don't know. It was just like I don't know. They actually screwed Sue up, in my opinion, on that one. Oh, let's watch the language on that, though. Yeah, I'm gonna have to caution on the language. It's the rules of this stream: no harsh language. I allow minor swears, but anything that starts with F or N is banned from the chat. What's the time for you, Red? About 10 p.m. That's okay. So yeah, you're in Central Time. Never thought of that. You would think. Hold on, it moved for a sec. Avatar would keep that as a secret if possible. All right. Well, there goes that guy. Here's what I don't get, though. This is kind of a strange one. So they're starting to get technology in Korra, right? They're starting to get technology. They're starting to understand how to utilize tech better. You would think that they know that the Avatar, as shown previously, unless Aang never told anybody and for some reason no one ever knew, when one Avatar dies, instantaneously they're reincarnated into another child. Instantly. So you would think that it would be a little easier, because at the very start, they say they investigated claims that somebody was the Avatar. You would think with birth records and radio, since they can actually use radio to just instantaneously transfer that information, they would know when Avatar Aang passed that they would check what babies were born that day and know that, hey, this baby's definitely going to be the Avatar, or hey, there were only 44 babies born in the world, or their world actually is a smaller population, so it's pretty likely that 40 babies in a day is probably a lot. So you got to think they probably could have pinned Korra from a long way away. Like, hey, here's some birth records. There were 6 babies born today. Okay, well, one of them's the Avatar, and only one of them was born in Water Nation. Okay, that's the Avatar. You would think they would have figured that out a little easier. It's the only thing that was confusing about that. Then again, they hadn't had an Avatar in 100 years. It's possible that they didn't know. Maybe Aang just never got around. I mean, he was building an entire metropolis. There's a good chance that he never got around to explaining how the reincarnation works specifically. All of this has to be assumed by the reader, unfortunately, or the viewer, rather, not the reader. It has to be assumed by the viewer, because they don't really spell it out for you. But I think it's pretty logical anyways. Yeah, that would be another thing, too, is if they were to do an Avatar in the modern world with modern technology, like internet and electricity. Well, I shouldn't say electricity. They already had electricity. What I mean is efficiency. If they had efficiency and tech like that, you have to assume that every single Avatar would be very very known, very far out known, like instantaneously. Unless, I mean, there is another possibility. If they were to do a series like that, maybe the four nations finally dissolve. Maybe they don't stay separate. Maybe the four nations finally mix it up too much, and you don't see a baby born in the nation because there are no nations, so it could be anywhere. That'd be kind of a neat little twist. If the whole world operated like Republic City. Did they have phones? I don't think so, but No, they didn't have phones. They had radios. The closest, I think, if I recall, was... when was that? Oh, the president. The president, when he's surrendering to Kuvira, talks to her via a radio that looks like a phone. I think that's the closest they got, but yeah, they only had radios. So technically, I mean, they didn't have that, so there could be in Korra's life a phone. Like Korra would probably be, if you're placing radio technology. I mean, that's kind of, they were kind of in the 30s, 40s at the most, closer to 20s actually. So if they were closer to 20s, yeah, Korra would see, if technology progressed like it did in our history. Korra would live to... Well, actually, I take it back. It doesn't matter. Avatars sometimes live to be over 100, well over 100, so I don't know how long she was going to live, but there's certainly a good chance that Korra could make it to see, like, modern tech. Hiccups. I got some beastly hiccups here. These hiccups are nasty, but yeah, I mean, it's possible. If she was in her teens, give 30 years for them to invent phones and things like that, and use flash cameras without the bulb. So that would put her in her 40s. 40s, you're talking like, by 50s, Korra would be in her 50s when fuel injection comes out in cars. So she would be 80s, which, as we saw from like Avatar Roku, you're still capable. You're absolutely, as an Avatar, fully a capable Avatar in your 80s. So yeah, I mean, she'd be about 80 by the time that internet comes along and things like that. Yeah, with bending, they would progress. I mean, thing about that is, if they were able to, let's say, I don't know, they're powering their, well, they're not powering their entire cities by lightning benders, but you imagine that lightning bending probably would be one day viewed as very inefficient. They'd be like, look, you can just set up 10 solar panels and you can get the same amount of power that the lightning bender's putting out, except the solar panel goes the entire length of the sun, and the lightning bender needs a lunch break and breaks during the day, and you know. So I'm sure that there would be a time that they would, like modern tech, they would just look back at it and say, wow, that was horribly inefficient. So I don't know. Part of me feels like if they did try to write a series about modern Avatar, they'd screw it up. They would be pop culture references and like internet memes. Think Wreck-It Ralph versus the second movie. Think of that. So my battery's dead. Don't worry, I'll charge it. No, that's all right. I'm gonna call it a night here pretty soon. Here, I'm thinking like here. I'll go 5 more encounters and then I'm gonna call it a night because it's at my quitting point anyways. I said I was gonna stop at 11 o'clock. Charge it with your lightning bending. Now that at least would be useful, is you could lightning bend and never suffer from a dead phone ever again. So, got that much. I mean, technically, if their battery technology were advanced, they could charge their own batteries in cars and such with lightning. So a lightning bender would literally probably have a very long-lasting battery they'd never have to worry about. So there's practical uses to being able to shoot lightning. All right, here's 5. That is if you don't overjuice it, overcharge. All right, that's 5. Here's number 4. I'll count backwards. 4 more encounters. And I'm going to go ahead and get some rest. But it was a pleasure to everybody that's... there's a few... I see a few... I'm not calling you lingerers. I'm sorry, guys. No, you're lurkers. There's a few lurkers out there. And Red, I've been talking to you pretty much all night. So thanks for hanging out. It's been a pleasure. It's been fun. It seriously is awesome to see this overlay working out, because I wanted something unique that was not just a copy-paste. And I think I've got that. And I've always enjoyed these shiny streams. I try to make them unique, and I think it works out great. That's number 4. Here's 3 more. So I always enjoy doing these. I guess kind of be interested in trying to do more, trying to squeeze them in my schedule a little more, but nonetheless. Hope you have a good night. Yeah, you too, my friend. I'm starting to burn out a little bit after a long work day, after a long work week, work month, work quarter. Yeah, it's getting worse and worse. They're trying to overload us a little bit, but I think everybody thinks that they're working too hard at their job. But either way, I got a little proof behind mine anyways, but still, I'm hanging in there. It'll be fine. 3. All right, 2 more, and then I go ahead and call it a night. And it really was a fantastic stream. And to those who subscribed, to those who liked, I didn't expect that many likes on the stream. I seriously thank you guys for going out of your way to do that. And I'm honored to always be on everybody's subscription lists, not just the new subscribers, but everybody. I really am honored, because you guys probably have 100 people at least on your list. Like, to be on there, to me be like when I go live, I go to the top of that list and it gets a little red icon, and it's just amazing how many channels are below it. It's like, wow, I'm one of them. All right, 1 more encounter. I get that I've stopped thinking for an hour now. Yeah, a long day of college. I hear you on that one for sure. It's been a few years since college, but definitely classes like writing lab reports for analytical chemistry or quantum chemistry. Oh my God, figuring the math out for that sometimes. It was rough. Took a lot of devotion. All right, final encounter. Here it goes. Give my little good luck spin. Eternatus, we got to do this, all right? We got to do this. We're going to encounter that Nidoking over there, my all-time favorite Pokemon. I'm going to shiny check him before we do this den for good luck. Final encounter. We're going to do this, and we're going to do this one time only. Final encounter. I never get hyped moments. I never do. I want this to be the moment. Here we go. Thank you guys so much for everything. This would be pretty much pointless without you guys, so I really appreciate the good chat. Red, that was an awesome chat. And I love finding people that love Avatar and Korra. It's always good to be able to talk about it. All right, here we go. Here we go. Dead in the water. No shiny today. I bid you all farewell. Hope everybody has a good night. Humble and proud, I am Nido Marquis, and I will catch you around. I'm not going anywhere. So, take care. And with that, I will go through the long sequence of shutting the stream down. So, farewell, my friends. It's been a pleasure. Have a good night, everybody.